Chapter 487. Golden Core Strongman In Wuji, dead. Even a true Golden Core realm expert wouldn't find it so easy to kill me. Song Jianglin's entire body was wrapped in a sea of blood, transforming into a series of blood-red, ghostly shadows in the void. Kill! These blood-red, ghostly shadows roared and charged towards Lu Yin. Each blood-red, ghostly shadow possessed a strength not weaker than the origin fluid realm. Seeing the dense swarm of blood-red, ghostly shadows, even the experienced Lu Yin couldn't help but show astonishment on his face. White Lotus Flame. Lu Yin unleashed the terrifying power of the White Lotus Flame, exterminating the ghostly shadows condensed from the sea of blood. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The 7th rank, 50% power of the White Lotus Flame was extraordinarily terrifying. Even a late-stage rune seed realm expert would suffer greatly if they were careless. These ghostly shadows simply couldn't withstand it and were quickly annihilated in the endless white flames. Awoo! Dense swarms of ghostly shadows fearlessly rushed into the deadly sea of flames, which represented hell and the abyss. But their final outcome was just self-destruction. With each ghostly shadow's disappearance, Song Jianglin's sea of blood weakened. Not long after, the sea of blood surrounding him could only cover an area of about 10 meters around his body. Lu Yin retracted the White Lotus Flame and attacked Song Jianglin, coldly saying, "In the face of absolute power, all devilish tricks are useless." Song Jianglin's sea of blood trembled unwillingly, retorting, "Humph! Do you think this is the full extent of my strength?" Immediately, the runes around him shook, making the sea of blood boil once more. I've said it before. Even a true Golden Core realm expert can't kill me. Come out, Crimson, Heavenly Ghost. A huge ghost creature with blood-red eyes appeared in front of Lu Yin. This ghost creature had a bizarre shape with no hair on its body. Its blood-red skin and enormous eyes emanated an indescribably evil aura. A peak-level rune, seed realm ghost creature. Lu Yin's gaze narrowed slightly. The opponent could actually summon a ghost creature with a strength equal to his own. Truly extraordinary. Without giving Lu Yin time to react, the Crimson Heavenly Ghost launched its attack. The Crimson Heavenly Ghost spat out a mouthful of blood-red evil chi, blasting towards Lu Yin. Everywhere it passed, the surroundings were corroded by the wicked aura. Lu Yin casually made a move, summoning a thunderbolt to strike down. The evil and corrosive evil chi was instantly destroyed. Awoo! The Crimson Heavenly Ghost's attack failed, and it let out an unsatisfied growl. It vigorously pounded its chest with both hands, and the blood-red aura around its body became even thicker. With extreme malice in its eyes, it lunged at Lu Yin. Get lost. Lu Yin swung the sky-brilliant sword, carrying a scorching sword radiance, and smashed it onto the head of the Crimson Heavenly Ghost. A deep gash appeared on its skull, and its body was sent flying back by the impact. What a terrifying flesh body! Shock appeared in Lu Yin's eyes as he knew the power of his sword just now. Even his own transformed body, in several places, would not dare to forcefully resist it. But this ghost creature took the blow and wasn't even split apart. From this, it was evident that the ghost creature's flesh body was not much weaker than his own. Awoo! The Crimson Heavenly Ghost let out a long howl, and a wave of blood-red aura rose and enveloped the void. The powerful pressure spread in all directions, and its strength clearly had reached the limits of the rune seed realm. From afar, Zhuang Ziyuan, who was watching the scene, muttered, "It said that Song Jianglin's divine ability is to summon a ghost creature with equal strength to himself. It seems the rumors are true." Song Jianglin's own strength had reached the limit of the rune seed realm. After summoning the Crimson Heavenly Ghost, it was equivalent to having 2 peak rune seed realm experts. No wonder he had boldly proclaimed before that even a true Golden Core realm expert would find it difficult to kill him. Seeing that Lu Yin's displayed strength wasn't that powerful and couldn't cause serious damage to the Crimson Heavenly Ghost, Song Jiangluan changed his mind, ready to fight together with the Crimson Heavenly Ghost against Lu Yin. Heavenly Ghost, Blood, Devil Claw. Song Jiangluan held the superior profound artifact, Ghost Claw of Netherworld, in his hand. With a single swipe, the sea of blood surged, qi piled upon qi, and it was as if a claw from the depths of hell emerged. Lu Yin's face remained unchanged, his body shook and golden light surged. Immediately, runes flickered, laws interwoven, and flowed into the sky-brilliant sword. An even more powerful sword radiance emerged, and the abyssal demon claw, suppressing him from the sky, was instantly cleaved apart. The mountain-sized Crimson Heavenly Ghost, wrapped in surging sea of blood, was also sent flying hundreds of meters away by a single sword. How is this possible? Song Jianglin's mind trembled. Who would have thought that Lu Yin, who was barely suppressing the Crimson Heavenly Ghost before, would suddenly have a surge in strength, sending both him and the ghost flying with one sword? He must have been hiding his strength just now to lure me into making a move. Upon understanding this, Song Jiangluan immediately attempted to flee. He stomped his foot, sending the sea of blood rolling. The void rippled, and he exploded with extreme speed, as if he was traversing through the void. Trying to escape? Lu Yin's voice echoed like thunder. After all, Song Jiangluan was still just a rune seed realm cultivator. How could his speed be faster than Lu Yin, let alone his strength being a match for Lu Yin? Just with a light shout, it contained the unique martial arts will of a Golden Core expert. Both the Crimson Heavenly Ghost and Song Jiangluan trembled slightly. This terrifying will. In the depths of Song Jianglin's heart, jealousy and fear surged. As a peak rune seed realm expert, extremely close to the Golden Core realm, how could he not recognize the will Lu Yin suddenly unleashed? Chapter 488. Golden Core Strongman In Wuji, dead. _2 martial arts was what bothered him, keeping him trapped in the rune seed realm, unable to reach the long-awaited realm. Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul, hold him for me. The Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul, summoned by his rune seed divine ability and controlled by his will, attacked Lu Yin without hesitation. Die, a sword strike containing swordsmanship intent and law runes slashed out, creating a massive hole in the monstrous body of the Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul. Roar! The Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul did not care about the damage to its body, only thinking about blocking the powerful enemy in front of it. Chilling ghostly air mixed with the red evil qi formed sharp spires that bombarded Lu Yin relentlessly. Lu Yin, unfazed, swung his sword, tearing apart the heavens and the earth, leaving nothing to stand against it. The terrifying Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul couldn't withstand the overwhelming sword radiance for more than a few breaths before being completely engulfed. As the sword radiance dissipated when the sky brightened, the enormous body of the Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul shattered in the void, turning into boundless bloody red evil qi and ghostly air sweeping everywhere. The Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul couldn't withstand even 2 strikes from Lu Yin. How powerful has he become? Zhuang Ziyuan watched with disbelief in his eyes. Sensing the fall of the Scarlet Heavenly Ghoul, the fear in Song Jianglin's heart increased, regretting not fleeing earlier. Swoosh, swoosh! In the midst of stormy winds and roaring thunder, Lu Yin quickly closed the distance with Song Jiangluan. Just as he was about to unleash a heaven-shaking sword strike, a powerful aura suddenly descended, causing turmoil in the void. Kid, this time no one can save you. Before In Wujia could fully approach, he formed hand seals and a pitch-black portal, like an ancient demonic mountain, descended from the void, suppressing the area. It's him. Seeing this, Lu Yin immediately abandoned his attempts to kill Song Jiangluan and struck the sky with a sky lion-shaking fist. Raging runes accompanied the punch, directly knocking the descending portal back, and the shockwave struck at Wujia. Wujia hastily sent several runes towards the Netherworld gate, but the powerful backlash caused him to stumble backwards, his chest heaving, nearly breaking his bones. His power has become so terrifying that even the Netherworld gate cannot suppress him. Wujia was shocked. Lu Yun's power had increased about 3 or 4 times compared to their last encounter. The extent of this power surge was unheard of and chilling. Within this gap, Song Jiangluan had vanished without a trace. Never mind, let him go for now. Lu Yun didn't mind that he had failed to kill Song Jiangluan, considering their massive difference in power. But what truly caught his attention was Wuji's sudden appearance. Last time he had been ambushed by Wujia and left the battlefield with serious injuries, wasting 2 7th-grade pills to barely stop the bleeding. No matter what, Lu Yun had to settle the score for this grudge. I don't believe I can't take down a greenhorn like you. Wuji's face was icy. He had never encountered an opponent with strength as monstrous as Lu Yun. Even those in the Golden Core realm could only surpass him in their understanding of laws, but their physical strength was comparable to his. However, the punch from Lu Yun made him feel an insurmountable gap. As a cultivator who had practiced for hundreds of years, Wujia could sense that Lu Yun's physical body was incredibly powerful, with vigorous blood energy like towering pillars, and he must have a terrifying natural gift in this aspect. In that case, I'll show you the true power of a Golden Core realm cultivator. Wujia muttered coldly. With that, he activated his golden core within his body, and the vast runes exuding a powerful law aura were reinforced onto the Netherworld gate. Suppress. Under Wuji's control, the Netherworld gate swelled against the wind, expanding to 100 feet, casting a huge shadow mimicking the lifeless atmosphere of the 9 Netherworld, falling upon Lu Yun. Boom! The void stretching for hundreds of miles shook under the descent of the 100-foot Netherworld gate. The terrifying pressure and the deadly energy spread through the sky, forcing the Rune Seed realm practitioners in the battlefield to flee in panic. As the Netherworld gate continued to grow, it stood like a black portal in the sky, with boundless pressure and unparalleled sinister energy that even a Rune Seed realm peak expert would be thoroughly suppressed. Lu Yun isn't avoiding it. Is he going to withstand it head-on? The Hidden 100 Sect experts thought the same. Last time, Lu Yun had been suppressed by Wuji's Netherworld gate. But that time, Wujia hadn't unleashed the gate's full power. What Lu Yun did next left everyone stunned. Facing the descending Netherworld gate, Lu Yun leaped into the air, his body emitting a torrent of golden light. Powerful blood energy like dragons and tigers and golden radiance enveloped his bones, which roared as they collided head-on with the Netherworld gate, truly seeking death. A disdainful voice came from Wuji's mouth. Among the 100 sects, who among the long-practiced experts didn't know about the terror of the Netherworld gate. Composed of meteorite materials, it was indestructible, and the Netherworld water imbued it with the aura of the 9 Nether, nearly making it the pinnacle of lower-grade treasure artifacts. Chapter 489. Golden Core Strongman Wuji dead. _ 3 Lu Yun's attempt to withstand the attack with his physical body was nothing but humiliating. As expected, Lu Yun's body had only just risen to midair when it suddenly stopped. The Sky Lion shaking the Sky Punch was also directly obliterated under the suppression of the Netherworld gate. The next moment, the dense aura of deathly silence and the terrifying force of suppression acted upon Lu Yun's body, causing the light emitted from his body to suddenly dim, and he plummeted towards the ground along with the Netherworld gate. As I thought, it's still impossible to break the seal of the Netherworld gate. Elder Hung in the void shook his head slightly. Although Wuji's strength was not very strong, the Netherworld gate was a pretty good treasure artifact, capable of suppressing and sealing a small world. With this treasure artifact, There were very few strong people at the same level who could suppress him. The netherworld gate, hundreds of feet tall, stopped in midair, and the endless aura of death permeated the void, filled with a ghostly atmosphere everywhere. Underneath the netherworld gate, there seemed to be a terrifying force suddenly erupting, blocking the suppression of this treasure artifact. "Don't struggle." Een Wuji's body trembled, and under his full explosion, a series of law runes like blood-red rivers poured down, all falling into the netherworld gate, breaking the previous balance and causing it to suppress downward again. Boom! However, before Een Wujia could take a breath, the terrifying power exploded again, causing ripples to appear in the void, and the aftermath of the confrontation spread in all directions, giving birth to a storm in the void. Everyone saw the netherworld gate suddenly tremble, then stop its downward trend of suppression and slowly rise upward. Such a sudden change caused Elder Hung and the people around him to jump in their hearts, feeling that it was incredible. Under the netherworld gate, Lu Yun's figure stood tall. His body was filled with white flames and purple thunderbolts, driving away the awe-inspiring aura of deathly silence. With his hands forming palms, hundreds of runes gathered to form a golden giant palm, directly supporting the netherworld gate. This was the first time Lu Yun used law runes and blessed them on his strength, with the aid of his terrifying physical body, directly shaking the netherworld gate. 125 runes. Superior rune seed. Een Wujia felt it was incredible, even more shocking than the terrifying power shown by Lu Yun. Superior rune seeds were already extremely rare, and more than 120 runes had never been heard of. "Rise for me!" Lu Yun roared like a god or demon, pushing the netherworld gate upward, then instantly blasting it with all his might, causing the netherworld gate, which had a sealing ability, to tremble incessantly, rising and rushing to the sky. Whoosh! As the netherworld gate suddenly rose and broke through the sky, Een Wuji's face was full of exhaustion, and his heart was even more panicked. He discovered that the connection between himself and the netherworld gate had suddenly been cut off by a powerful force. Looking towards that void, the netherworld gate had returned to the size of a palm and fell into Lu Yun's hands. "This treasure artifact is compensation for your previous attempt to kill me." Lu Yun held the netherworld gate in his hand, urging his martial arts will to completely erase the remaining spiritual power on it. The sea of consciousness surged, and a vast spiritual power was integrated into the netherworld gate. From then on, the netherworld gate became the third treasure artifact on his body. After imprinting his own spiritual power, it was effortless to activate the netherworld gate. With law runes covering it, the netherworld gate immediately triggered a powerful prestige, and the surging aura of deathly silence turned into a gateway hundreds of feet tall, suppressing the void. "Suppress!" Lu Yun roared, and the netherworld gate appeared within Een Wuji's wound, casting a bloody red shadow and quickly suppressing him downward. "You dare to forcibly seize my treasure artifact. I won't spare you!" Een Wujia roared in anger. His body flashed, dodging the netherworld gate suppression, and attacked Lu Yun with terrifying force. But just then, clang! The azure cloud dragon scale saber instantly unsheathed. Divine ability. Heaven and earth draw saber slash. At the moment of drawing the saber, all the saber momentum and saber intent erupted within 1/100th of a breath. The heavens and the earth were filled with continuous saber howls, and an extremely dazzling blade light suddenly slashed out, carrying unparalleled speed and power, falling from the 9th heaven. Such a quick change, such a strong explosive force, was completely unexpected by Een Wujia. Even if he burst out with his maximum speed, he still couldn't avoid this saber. At such a close distance, heaven and earth draw saber slash made it impossible for him to dodge. Spurt! The right half of Een Wuji's body was almost instantly cut by the erupting blade's radiance, his body covered in blood, and his shocked face was frozen in midair. At the same time, the netherworld gate carried a terrifying pressure and suppressed downwards. With a bang, Een Wujia groaned in pain, his body plummeted, and he was sealed beneath the netherworld gate. Cut in half by Lu Yun's sudden saber attack, and then suppressed by his own treasure artifact, the netherworld gate, Een Wuji's eyes turned black with rage as he roared to the heavens. At this moment, his spine was almost bent under the pressure of being half-crushed, and his entire body creaked, barely withstanding the netherworld gate suppression. A column of blood gushed from Een Wuji's heavenly cover, pouring into the netherworld gate, while his martial arts will burst out, trying to refine it again. However, how could Lu Yun give him the chance? Lu Yun, holding the azure cloud dragon scale saber, disappeared on the spot, only to see a blade mark filled with blood-red light passing through the void. Rune, seed divine ability. Demon, slaying, god-killing saber. As the saber slashed out, the blade's power surged immensely, and when it passed through the air, it seemed as though gods and demons were roaring in anger. Whoosh! Een Wujia, who was desperately trying to block the netherworld gate, was submerged in the endless blade light with his half-crippled body. Finally, the blade light swept across the sky, and Lu Yun's figure appeared 100 feet away, forming an eternal image that seemed to be frozen in place. Behind him, under the netherworld gate, a blood-red trace suddenly appeared on Een Wuji's body, and blood spurted out as his body split apart. His old, gloomy eyes were round and filled with endless hatred. As his eyes dimmed, his body burst apart, forming a golden rain of light that scattered throughout the void. Golden Core Realm Powerhouse Een Wujia, dead. Chapter 490. Battle of the Celestial Human Een Wujia dead? Lu Yun actually killed Een Wujia. Whether it was martial artists from the 100 sects who were hiding and watching the battle, or the powerful fighters of the Demon Suppression Army, the 9 Nether Demon Sect and the Red Moon Demon Sect, who were fighting fiercely in the void battlefield, everyone's scalp went numb. This Lu Yun really can kill Golden Core Realm experts. Lu Yun, you! Zhuangziwen looked at Lu Yun, unable to form a complete sentence. When Een Wujia arrived, he was ready to flee at any moment. But to his surprise, Lu Yun fought Een Wujia alone and somehow used a method to forcefully steal the latter's treasure artifact, Netherworld Gate. In the end, he showed 2 powerful saber cultivation divine abilities and killed Een Wujia. All of this was like a dream to him. Just after breaking through to the Rune Seed Realm, he mastered 2 divine abilities and killed a Golden Core Realm expert. It seems that his rise is unstoppable. In the void, the woman in a white robe beside the man in the blue robe spoke emotionlessly. Lu Yun's current strength had reached the peak in this battlefield, and very few people could pose a threat to him. It's hard to say. At present, nearly 50 Golden Core Realm experts from the 9 Nether Demon Sect, the Red Moon Demon Sect, and their subordinate forces have joined the battle, as well as 2 celestial humans. The final outcome is unpredictable. The man in the blue robe shook his head and looked at the celestial humans in the void with reverence. These 2 celestial humans had been confronting each other for several months, maintaining the overall balance of the battlefield without ever engaging in real combat. However, with the arrival of another expert from the Red Moon Demon Sect, the balance of the battle would be completely broken. The others remained silent upon hearing this. At this moment, Lu Yun waved his hand, and the Netherworld Gate shrank and flew into his hand. It's not bad for subduing enemies. He had personally experienced the suppressing power of the Netherworld Gate. Once an average person of the same realm was trapped, it would be difficult for them to escape. As for Lu Yun, if it weren't for his powerful physical body and enhanced martial arts will, he wouldn't have been able to secretly refine it, even if Een Wujia was careless. Immediately afterward, several Sumi rings appeared in his hand, all obtained from the Rune Seed Realm experts he had killed. The wealth of the peak rune seed realm experts was undoubtedly abundant. Keep working hard. Lu Yin put away his spoils of war and looked towards another battlefield with fighting spirit flashing in his eyes. At this moment, a terrifying force erupted in the void, and the frightening fluctuations instantly swept the entire void battlefield. Celestial Human. Vice Commander has taken action. The fighters of the Demon Suppression Army and the 9 Nether Demon Sect, as well as the Red Moon Demon Sect, were all invigorated at this moment. Both sides' powerful fighters had great confidence in their celestial humans. Celestial Human. In another battlefield, Wei Tianluan forced his opponent back with a palm strike and looked towards the source of the fluctuations with a solemn expression. However, he quickly refocused his attention on his opponent in front of him. Stars rotated in his palm, and enormous celestial bodies rolled out, bursting with earth-shattering power. His opponent was also a strong Golden Core Realm Peak expert, who also displayed powerful divine abilities to counter Wei Tianlun's stars in the palm. Hua Yin Hui. A low, majestic voice echoed in the void, and the gray space shattered like broken glass. An old figure, shrouded in golden mist, suddenly descended and appeared in the void battlefield. Upon seeing the newcomer, Hua Yin Hui, who had been confronting the sect leader of the Red Moon Demon Sect, slightly furrowed his brow. Li Jiuyin, it's been over 100 years. I never expected that you've advanced to the celestial human level. You truly have good fortune. Li Jiuyin. Upon hearing this name, the corresponding information surfaced in Lu Yun's mind. The other party was once one of the top talents of the Red Moon Demon Sect, known as Blood Moon Twin Stars, along with the current sect leader. Besides this information, he knew nothing more. After hearing Hua Yin Hui reveal Li Jiyin's identity, the various powerful experts watching the battle in the void exchanged glances, seemingly confused. The name Li Jiuyin was ancient and resounding to them, because he used to be in existence on par with the sect leader of the Red Moon Demon Sect, but he was trapped in the Golden Core realm for a long time, unable to break through to the celestial human level. He spent years in seclusion and gradually faded from the 100 sects' attention. In theory, he should have reached the limit of his lifespan. Unexpectedly, Li Jiuyin had successfully broken through, becoming the second celestial human expert of the Red Moon Demon Sect. So, the new celestial human expert of the Red Moon Demon Sect is Li Jiuyin. That explains everything. Elder Hung murmured. Before this, he didn't know who the second celestial human of the Red Moon Demon Sect was. Now everything became clear. However, what he couldn't understand was why Li Jiuyin managed to break through at the end of his life. Elder Hung knew full well that the later a Golden Core expert's flesh decayed, the greater the risk in becoming a celestial human, and the success rate would drastically decrease. He still had about 50 years left of his lifespan, but he held no hope for breaking through to the celestial human realm. At this moment, Li Jiyin's voice was cold. With my talent, I should have broken through to the celestial human level long ago, but the Red Moon Demon Sect, which has lost its former foundation and heritage, cannot support the coexistence of two celestial humans. Even though my talent is unparalleled, I was still trapped in the Golden Core realm for hundreds of years. All of this is because of Morijin. Chapter 491. Battle of the Celestial Human. 2 Next, Morijin shall bear the fury which I have bred for centuries. With these words, he struck out with his palm, an ordinary palm, yet the whole battlefield trembled slightly. Dense law auras emanated from the enormous palm chi. Humph! Resorting to using the celestial human's power to deal with a group of juniors at the Rune Seed and Golden Core realms. What a shameless act! Hua Yin Hui sneered and countered with a palm strike, trying to block the opponent's attack. Hua Yin Hui, you dare to be distracted while confronting me. A burly man who stood 9 feet tall rose to his feet, his eyes filled with endless chill. He wore an incredibly intricate and ancient dark robe, his eyes deep and pitch black. He was none other than the sect leader of the Red Moon Demon sect. The instant the Red Moon Demon sect leader rose, his initially calm eyes, vast as the void, suddenly flared open. At the same time, the gas permeating around him, like dark clouds blocking out the stars, seethed and roiled. Wherever it passed, the void shattered and disintegrated like paper. The disturbance caused by a heavenly human expert was incomparable to that of those in the Golden Core realm. Boom! Instantaneously, a thunderous bell sound resonated through the void, suppressing the roiling black cloud. Boom! Boom! As the bell rang twice, a gigantic bronze bell flew out from the void and headed towards the fearsome aura of the Red Moon Demon sect leader to suppress him. What treasure artifact is that which can even suppress a mighty celestial human like the Red Moon Demon sect leader? The moment the huge bell appeared, many experts from the 100 sects observing the battle in the void exclaimed in astonishment. Suddenly, an expert seemed to have discovered something and couldn't help but exclaim, "It's not a treasure artifact, but a spirit artifact." Does Venerable Yunxian recognize this tree spirit artifact? Many experts glanced at the source of the sound, and their expressions turned solemn upon identifying the speaker. Those who appeared to watch the battle here were all powerful experts of the 100 sects, true elites. However, only a few of them had reached the celestial human rank. The one speaking now was one of those few experts. Glancing at the gazes of the youngsters around him, Yun Xian Venerable coughed softly and said, "This spirit artifact is called the Thundercloud Bell, the inheritance treasure of the former Thundercloud Mountain. 800 years ago, when Thundercloud Mountain was destroyed by Morijin, the Thundercloud Bell fell into Morijin's treasure vault." Thundercloud Mountain? Upon hearing this sect's name, the expressions of the experts present grew solemn. Thundercloud Mountain was once one of the 100 sects, its background and power no weaker than the current Red Moon Demon sect, 9 Nether Demon sect, Heavenly Mystery Sword sect, and other top-tier forces. Due to certain reasons, the sect and its inheritance were destroyed by Morijin's iron hooves. Spirit artifact? I have one as well. As soon as he finished speaking, the Red Moon Demon sect leader slowly raised his right hand, and a glimmer of red light shimmered before materializing into a spirit artifact resembling a crescent moon, its surface oozing with red blood. Red Moon Demonic Scythe. The Red Moon Demon sect leader waved his hand in the void, and the Red Moon Demonic Scythe soared out, like a crimson half-moon, clashing against the suppressing Thundercloud Bell. The crashing forces churned like a stormy tide, sweeping in all directions. Immediately after, the bell of the Thundercloud Bell tolled, affecting the void for tens of thousands of miles. I've heard that the Thundercloud Bell was once the guardian spirit artifact of Thundercloud Mountain. Why is it fighting on behalf of Morijin, the one who destroyed Thundercloud Mountain today? A dignified and enticing voice emanated from the Red Moon Demonic Scythe, as a figure in a blood-red robe appeared in the void. In response, a tender voice echoed from the Thundercloud Bell. That old fellow perished in the river of history long ago. As for me now, it is Hua Yin, the army commander, who grants me power, making me stronger than that old fellow and my potential even greater. As for you, if you choose to surrender now, perhaps you can retain some true spirit. Otherwise, you will end up like that old fellow. As the voice fell, the bell rang loudly, and the destructive fluctuations erupted vehemently. Within the void, the Red Moon Demon's scythe trembled, releasing countless wisps of blood-red chi that converged into densely packed red threads, blasting towards the Thundercloud Bell. At that moment, 2 powerful spirit artifacts engaged in battle, unleashing their full power. Simultaneously, Huayan Hui is engaged with the Red Moon Demon sect leader, preventing him from obstructing Li Jiuyin. Although the 2 of them attacked Hua, Yunhui at the same time and could suppress him, they were not able to kill him quickly. Comparatively, it was more profitable to concentrate on killing powerful experts in the Golden Core realm and Rune Seed realm. Boom! 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 A powerful aura swept across the void battlefield, with endless laws flowing like water currents. The tremendous power and terrifying force spread out in all directions, causing any demon suppression army experts who were caught in it to tremble. It felt as if their bodies were about to be torn apart by the force. Seeing this opportunity, experts from the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect took action right away, intending to heavily injure and kill their opponents. Boom! 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 In just a matter of a few breaths, a heavenly-level demon extermination general and several Earth rank demon extermination generals had fallen. Yin Wujia glanced at the void and saw no one stopping him. His eyes became even colder. It seems that there is no second celestial human in the demon suppression army. As soon as he finished speaking, he took a step forward, appearing in the void, overlooking the vast, endless battlefield. Immediately after, a cave heavens as vast as the heavens and earth descended from the void. He held the cave heavens with one hand as if trying to cover more than half of the endless battlefield. This battle has gone on too long, it's time to end it. After saying that, the vast cave heavens with flowing laws descended to suppress the battlefield. At this moment, more than half of the battlefield was shaking violently. Countless black hands stretched out from the cave heavens, grabbing at demon suppression army experts. Seeing the suddenly appearing cave heavens in the sky, Lu Yun's expression became solemn. He felt an extremely terrifying threat from that cave heavens. The only reassurance was that the cave heavens was not targeting him alone, but aimed at all the demon suppression army experts on the battlefield. Heaven and earth draw, saber slash. Lu Yun slashed with all his might, and an astonishing saber light burst forth, colliding with the black hand falling from the void. In the end, the black hand dispersed while Lu Yun was hit by a powerful backlash, sending him flying from the void. At the same time, Lu Yun noticed that Zhuang Ziyuan and other demon extermination generals were also attacked by the black hands not far away. However, the power of each black hand seemed to be different. Some demon extermination generals could easily block them. Some had to do it with all their might, some were heavily injured, and some were killed directly. Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect experts took the opportunity to slaughter the demon suppression army experts. Before long, another heavenly-level demon extermination general and more than a dozen Earth rank demon extermination generals had fallen. For a time, the balance on the entire battlefield was completely broken. The scales of victory seemed to be tilting in favor of the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect. Ha 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 ha. Kill them all. Slaughter all the demon suppression army. The Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect experts' morale surged, while the demon suppression army's morale dropped instantly. The suppression of a single celestial human realm expert affected 1/3 of the entire battlefield. To manifest a cave heavens on your own, I wonder if you are confident or fearless. At this moment, a magnificent and heavy voice sounded. Immediately after, an even more vast and powerful cave heavens descended from the void, directly landing in the void where Li Juyan's cave heavens was located. Cave heavens! Seeing the arrival of the even more vast and powerful cave heavens, Li Juyan's face changed slightly, and he hurriedly withdrew his cave heavens. However, the opponent had given him no chance to do so. Boom! 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 The two vast cave heavens collided in the void with the intertwining laws and cave heavens' power entwining. At this point, the experts' gazes shifted from the battlefield where Hua Yunhui and the Red Moon Demon Sect leader were, all turning towards this confrontation. A clash of cave heavens was the deadliest battle between celestial human realm experts. Once both sides used their cave heavens, It meant that their battle was ultimately aimed at consuming and destroying the opponent's cave heavens. Furthermore, a battle of cave heavens had another significance. It meant fight to the death, no retreat. Chapter 492. The Holy Son of the Red Moon Demon Sect. Mo. Wuzong. The confrontation of celestial humans is quite rare within the 100 sect and the whole of Morijin, especially when cave heavens collide, elevating the confrontation to another level. Such a spectacle provides the hidden powerhouses in the void an opportunity to observe battles of this caliber and gain valuable insights. Normally, witnessing such a level of contest would be impossible. All celestial humans stand at the peak. Their number scarce, and they rarely make a move. Especially a clash of cave heavens involving life and death struggles is even less likely to happen. Hence, witnessing such a scene today, these powerhouses focus their minds, even ignoring Liu Yin, who had caused a major shock in the endless battlefield. For them, everything is secondary to their own martial arts practice. Suddenly, a long river appeared above the cave heaven where Gongsun Zhonghong was. This river seemed illusory, yet it radiated unparalleled might, making the cave heaven more powerful and stable. Today in the battle of cave heavens you shall fall. Gongsun Zhonghong spoke, word by word. The illusory river above the cave heaven vibrated, deploying a profound power that made Li Juyin's cave heaven tremble incessantly. This scene made Li Juyin's face extremely ugly. Rule river. Gongsun Zhonghong has actually condensed rules. Li Juyin is in danger in this battle. All those powerhouses watching the battle had drastic changes in their expressions. A cave heaven with rules and one without are of two distinct levels of existence. Around the 100 sect, among many celestial human realm powerhouses, only a very few have grasped the concept of rules. They could be counted on one hand. Rules, I can't believe he actually formed rules. Li Juyin's face was as dark as water. Every celestial human who understands rules is the most powerful force of their sect. The Red Moon Demon sect currently only has one celestial human who has grasped rules. As for him, he had just built his cave heaven not long ago. To understand rules, he would need at least tens or hundreds of years. But now, Gongsun Zhonghong has also grasped rules. In this way, he is no match for the opponent. It's just a mere rule. It doesn't mean much among the powerhouses of my Morijin. Gongsun Zhonghong smiled faintly. His eyes immediately turned cold. However, one rule is enough to kill you. With a mere thought from him, the illusory rule river suddenly became solid. Its power greatly increased. Boom! Under the enhancement of the rule river, Gongsun Zhonghong's cave heaven roared and sunk, and the other side's cave heaven seemed to have suffered a great impact and started to violently tremble. His cave heaven is strengthened by a rule, and his strength far exceeds mine. If this continues, I will inevitably perish here. Li Juyin's face turned even darker, and even a look of panic showed in his eyes. He could feel the tremendous power from the other side's cave heaven and sensed that his own cave heaven was at the brink of collapse. The cave heaven is his core, more importantly, his foundation. If it collapses, the consequences would be unimaginable. It seems that I have to go all out. Determined, Li Juyin made a decision in an instant. Suddenly, a green light shot out from his cave heaven. Divine flower, aid me in refining the rule. In an instant, the green light bloomed with a dazzling glow that lit up the cave heaven. A green flower 10 zhang in size appeared in the cave heaven, blooming freely, exhaling a strange breath. From the center of the green flower, a pure and incomparable force slowly emanated. The next moment, all the endless rules in the cave heaven gathered, causing the surrounding void to tremble furiously. An illusory long river gradually formed, suspended above the cave heaven. The cave heaven, which was initially trembling and crumbling, began to stabilize as the illusory river unfolded. As the flower released the pure and incomparable power, the divine flower began to wilt slowly. Simultaneously, the illusory river gradually became more condensed. What kind of treasure is that capable of allowing Li Juyin to condense a rule in a few breaths' time? In an instant, a powerhouse in the void exclaimed, looking at Li Juyin with intense greed. If it wasn't for his lacking power, he would even want to take action himself. Regrettably, a treasure that could allow a celestial human to form a rule in just a few breaths' time is indeed rare. Yun Xian, venerable, frowned. That is the divine flower, said to be the supreme treasure for comprehending the great Tao. It is the treasure of the sky-splitting sword sect. I didn't expect it to be in the hands of Li Juyin. It appears that the downfall of the sky-splitting sword sect is somewhat related to the Red Moon demon sect. The divine flower grew in the secret realm of the sky-splitting sword sect, and one could be born every 1,000 years. This matter is very secretive, but the leading figures among the 100 sect are all aware of it to some extent. Although the divine flower is a treasure for comprehending the great Tao, it has its limitations. That is, once borrowing the power of the divine flower to form a rule, one could never make further progress. In other words, the rules condensed with the help of the divine flower are at the cost of their own potential and foundation. However, the fact that one can create a rule is attractive enough to anyone. The two rule rivers collided, the river water flowing in the void, stirring waves of shock, and wherever they reached, the void died away. Chapter 493. The Holy Son of the Red Moon Demon Sect. Mo Wuzong _2. I wasted a divine flower and cut off my own retreat because of you. You're not getting away alive today. After stopping the collapse and the cave heavens stabilizing again, Li Juyin's face hasn't improved either. I've said before, a single rule isn't a big deal. There are still many things Li Juyin hasn't thought about. Gongsun Zhonghong said with a faint smile. As soon as his words fell, another illusory rule river appeared above the cave heavens. After fully solidifying, the two different colored rule rivers covered the sky, suppressing the void. The intersections of two different colors made the power of the rule river greatly increase, and the mysterious power grew exponentially. Boom, boom, boom. As another rule river appeared, the original two opposing rule rivers seemed to be hit by some kind of impact and directly dispersed, turning into a ray of light and disappearing into the cave heavens. As the rule river collapsed, the cave heavens were also subjected to a strong impact and continued to shake. The powerful, mysterious force caused the recently stabilized cave heavens to show signs of cracking. Two rules. Li Juyin exclaimed in surprise. His face completely changed. Although he had condensed a rule with the help of the divine flower, it was only one rule after all. But his opponent, Gongsun Zhonghong, had two rules directly. Both were heavenly human realm experts and strong at the level of rules. A single rule couldn't resist two rules. Today you shall fall. Gongsun Zhonghong stood above the cave heavens, looking down at the crumbling cave heavens below, and his majestic voice echoed in the void. As his words fell, the two rule rivers merged completely, and the mysterious power completely blessed the cave heavens, bombarding the cave heavens below. Boom! Boom! The collision of two different levels of cave heavens caused the afterwaves to sweep across the void battlefield, and the intense fluctuations even changed the expressions of Golden Core experts. As the two heavenly human experts fought with all their might, Lu Yin was rapidly hunting his targets on the other battlefield. By now, his cultivation had reached the mid-stage of the Rune Seed realm, and coupled with mastering two divine abilities, his combat power was even more terrifying than those who had just stepped into the Golden Core realm. With such strength, he was almost unstoppable on the battlefield. At the same time, his demon extermination point was soaring, and it soon broke through the 1,000,000 mark. Before this, he had never thought of such a huge number of demon extermination points. Apart from that, the number of pills in the Sumi ring was constantly increasing. Since almost all of his kills were in the rune seed realm, the pills were mainly 7th grade pills. According to incomplete statistics, there were about 100 ordinary 7th grade pills. In addition, there were 7 top-notch 7th grade pills. In Een Wuji's Sumi Ring, there was also an 8th grade pill. If all these pills were refined, the energy value would increase by at least 4 million. As expected, only this kind of war is the best way to plunder resources. Lu Yun sighed and then continued to rush to the next battlefield. Heaven and earth were fragmented, and the martial artists of the 2 camps fought tirelessly. In the gray void, 2 powerful figures were fighting. Lu Yun's eyes suddenly fell on one of the figures. This figure was graceful and had an ethereal temperament. Every move they made seemed to emit a blazing, sacred glow, like an ice and snow fairy, stirring the power of the ice and snow domain and suppressing the demon general they were battling. Seeing this charming, beautiful woman, Lu Yun let out a cold snort, and a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Humph! I will avenge the past grudge today. Lu Yun's figure disappeared in the distance in an instant, and the next moment he appeared in the void where the 2 were fighting fiercely. The azure cloud dragon scale saber was unsheathed. Thrilling saber intent erupted. An infinite amount of blade light burst from the blade. At the same time, Feng Yi, who was fighting a rune seed realm peak expert, felt a terrifying intent covering her, and her face changed drastically. She wanted to dodge, but was already too late. Heaven and earth draw saber slash. Even a golden core expert would be seriously injured if caught off guard, if not dead. Feng Yi, although she had reached the limit of the rune seed realm, was far from being a match for a powerful golden core realm expert. How was she supposed to resist? In less than 1/10 of a breath's time, this peerless genius and incomparably beautiful woman was pierced through by a terrifying beam of light. Before her consciousness plunged into darkness, her beautiful eyes were filled with disbelief and incredulity. She never would have expected that the one who killed her was someone she could easily defeat half a month ago. Killing a former enemy, Lu Yun's state of mind remained calm, as he waved his hand and collected the opponent's Sumi ring. After wiping away the imprint, he proceeded to inspect the spoils of war. The entire process was as smooth as a flowing stream, as though he had practiced it thousands of times. Watching the beautiful corpse slowly falling from the void and looking at Lu Yun, who was skillfully collecting the enemy's spoils, the demon extermination general was left speechless. Lu Yun nodded slightly to the general before quickly leaving, searching for his next target. Golden Core Realm experts were few in number and difficult to kill. Lu Yun's targets were mainly focused on those in the late Rune Seed Realm and at its peak. He used the same tactic. After discovering his target, he would deploy the Heaven and Earth Draw saber / divine ability. From drawing his saber to harvesting the enemy's life, and finally collecting the spoils of war, all of it took only a few breaths' time. Seeing their formidable opponents suddenly being split apart by a terrifying saber light, the demon extermination general's expressions were filled with horror, and it took them a long time to come to their senses. They finally relaxed after seeing the dark gold token around their opponent's waist. After all, a powerhouse not much weaker than themselves falling within just a few breaths such prowess was enough to instill fear in them. As one Rune Seed Realm powerhouse after another was slaughtered by Lu Yun, the Demon Suppression Army gradually gained the upper hand in this battle. Half an hour later, after Lu Yun had slain 5 late-stage Rune Seed Realm experts and one at the peak of the realm, the battle situation became much clearer. Bai Changfeng, Zhang Wenyin, and other peak Rune Seed Realm experts from the various legions began to engage in a frenzied massacre, and the Rune Seed Realm battle power of the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect began decreasing rapidly. Buzz. Just at that moment, a beam of light suddenly shone in the sky, transforming into a blood-colored long spear. The blood-colored long spear was like a thunderbolt blasting down from the heavens at a terrifying speed, straight towards Lu Yin. Upon seeing the blood-colored long spear, Bai Changfeng and the others' expressions changed. They sensed a different aura within that blood-colored long spear. It was the power beyond the rune seed realm. Another golden core realm expert has made a move. Sensing the rapidly approaching crisis from the sky, Lu Yin remained calm. With a wave of his left hand, the netherworld gate transformed into a portal appearing above him, shielding him from above. Boom! The bloody long spear slammed into the netherworld gate, creating a terrifying shockwave that caused the surrounding void to tremble violently. Humph! With a cold snort, a figure appeared in the void, grabbing the blood-red long spear with his hand in the process. Yin Wujia, that old fool, really is good for nothing but causing a mess. The netherworld gate wound up in your hands. As he finished speaking, a palm reached out, and the rules surged, seeming to transform into tens of thousands of palms, slapping the void and causing the space to tremble slightly. Mixed origin annihilation palm. It seems that he has arrived. Bai Changfeng's eyes flashed. He had already vaguely guessed the enemy's identity when he saw the blood-red long spear. Now that his opponent used a divine ability, it only confirmed his suspicion. Lu Yun's expression was indifferent. With a fist in hand, he threw a punch. At this moment, his realm and physical body had grown considerably, far more powerful than when he was at the peak of the golden body realm. The same technique in his hands could not unleash the power of divine abilities, but it could still achieve miraculous results. A lifelike golden heavenly lion emerged from his fist and roared, executing the sky, lion shaking the sky technique. Boom! In the void, the two fighters' moves collided, causing ripples to surge and leaving countless onlookers astonished. As the confrontation reached its climax, Lu Yin suddenly used his divine ability, Heaven and Earth Draw Saber Slash. A beam of saber light, accompanied by the terrifying might of splitting heaven and earth, instantly cut through the void. The man with the blood-red long spear was sliced apart by the saber light in an instant, but regrettably it was only an afterimage. So this is your trump card, truly impressive. A young man in a red-gold robe, holding a blood-red long spear with an ordinary and featureless face, looked down at Lu Yin with a touch of coldness in his eyes. As I thought, it's you, Saint Child of the Red Moon Demon Sect, Mo Wuzong. Lu Yin said indifferently. In fact, Lu Yin had guessed long ago that his massacring would once again draw out a golden core realm expert from the Red Moon Demon Sect or the Nine Nether Demon Sect. However, he never expected that his opponent would be the Saint Child of the Red Moon Demon Sect, Mo Wuzong. Chapter 494. Full Power, Self-Destruct Rule. The one who used the Mixed Origin Annihilation Palm divine ability and held the Blood Spirit Ghostly Spear could be none other than the Red Moon Demon Sect Saint Child, Mo Wuzong, apart from Lu Yin. As for Mo Wuzong, his qualifications were not inferior to the sect leader of the Red Moon Demon Sect, and had the potential to become a celestial human. Although he was currently in the early stage of the Golden Core realm, his true combat power was far beyond comparison to the likes of Yin Wujia. I usually disdain to bully Junior like you, but how could you slaughter so many of my fellow disciples? Mo Wuzong said indifferently, with strong killing intent in his eyes and a touch of barely detectable jealousy. Yes, jealousy it was. He was jealous of Lu Yun's appearance, as well as his monstrous talent. Although he was the Saint Child of the Red Moon Demon Sect, he could barely compete with the peak Rune Seed realm when he was in the middle stage of the Rune Seed realm himself. This aspect was far inferior compared to Lu Yin. In terms of appearance, Lu Yin had handsome brows and eyes and a face like jade, while Mo Wuzong's appearance was rather plain. Why does heaven favor Lu Yin so much? Not only did it give him an unparalleled appearance, but also monstrous talent. Since heaven is so unfair, this Saint Child will destroy it. With this thought, Mo Wuzong's eyes darkened, and his face turned pale as he launched an attack. He pointed a finger, and surging energy of laws condensed into a crimson giant star finger, crushing down toward Lu Yin. This was also one of his divine abilities, the Red Moon Starfinger. He is a tough opponent. Lu Yun's face remained calm, activating his physical body with surging blood and energy like a fierce tiger or dragon. The burst of power was so terrifying that it seemed like it could shatter the void with a single punch. Immediately after, Lu Yun swung the azure cloud dragon scale saber, and the powerful saber aura roared out, carrying the power of slaying gods and wiping out demon kings, tearing the sky apart. The demon-slaying, god-killing saber divine ability clashed with the Red Moon Starfinger, and the erupting power shook the firmament. During the collision, the Red Moon Starfinger was directly cut by the saber aura, and then the remaining force continued to slash toward Mo Wuzong. Your power. Mo Wuzong's face changed. Previously, Lu Yun's heaven and earth draw saber slash was already enough to surprise him. But now, the power of the demon-slaying, god-killing saber divine ability was even beyond his expectations. Heavenly sanguine slaughter. Mo Wuzong attacked again, holding the blood spirit, ghostly spear with both hands and stabbing it forward. A blood-red spear aura fell from the void, bombarding the demon, slaying, god-killing saber aura. However, the terrifying power contained within it made Mo Wuzong's face change drastically. Pucci, the saber aura and spear aura shattered, and the terrifying power landed on Mo Wuzong's body, causing him to fly backward like a kite with broken strings. Such a scene instantly stunned the powerhouses who were witnessing it. How is this possible? That's Mo Wuzong, the saint child of the Red Moon Demon sect, the invincible existence among his peers. Many powerhouses were astonished and dumbfounded. How could the saint child of a powerful sect be so easily defeated? For a moment, some powerhouses began to question Mo Wuzong's identity as the saint child. It's not that Mo Wuzong is too weak, it's just that Lu Yun is too abnormal. That saber strike just now was almost comparable to the power of the mid-listage Golden Core realm. With terrifying power, an ordinary Golden Core realm couldn't withstand it at all. A powerhouse of the Azure Profound sect said, his eyes filled with shock. This person was known for his powerful physical body, and his words were irrefutable. However, some people were still puzzled. That Mo Wuzong, a powerhouse of the Heavenly Mystery Sword sect, looked at Mo Wuzong with curiosity. He had once fought Mo Wuzong before and knew that his strength was not weaker than his own. Although Lu Yun's strength was now incredibly strong, it shouldn't be enough to crush Mo Wuzong so easily. Just when everyone was puzzled, Lu Yun spoke in a calm tone, revealing the truth. Mo Wuzong, should I say you are arrogant, or should I say you are stupid? You dare to hide your strength when fighting against me. As Lu Yun's words fell, those who were puzzled had their expressions freeze. The saint child of the Red Moon Demon sect had actually hidden his strength. Previously, when Mo Wuzong made his move, his displayed power had almost reached the limit of the early Golden Core realm. It could be said that it was almost comparable to the middle stage Golden Core realm. But now, Lu Yun claimed that Mo Wuzong had hidden his strength, which was somewhat incredible. If he hid his strength, which was already comparable to the early Golden Core realm, just how powerful would he be when he unleashed his full power? Lu Yun remained calm. From the moment their fight began, he could sense that his opponent was hiding his true power, especially just now when Mo Wuzong had effortlessly withstood his nearly 1 billion kilograms of force without showing any signs of strain. However, Lu Yun didn't care about that. At this time, he had given up the idea of killing his opponent. It would be very difficult to kill Mo Wuzong with such strength. The reason he could kill Yin Wujia before was that the latter had been too careless. Now Mo Wuzong was already on guard in his heart. Even if he could suppress him, it wouldn't necessarily mean he could kill him. Lu Yun didn't like doing things that he knew were impossible. At a distance, Mo Wuzong straightened his crimson robe, his face extremely gloomy. He said coldly, "I thought that with 70% of my strength I could kill you, but I didn't expect that your strength would be much stronger than I imagined. Since you know my strength, why don't you retreat now? Otherwise, you will end up like Yin Wujie," Lu Yin said indifferently. He didn't want to fight against Mo Wuzong and wanted to spend more time killing other rune seed realms to obtain more resources. If Mo Wuzong were to entangle him, it would definitely be a huge loss for him. Hearing this, Mo Wuzong's heart was burning with rage. Chapter 495. Full Power, Self-Destruction Rule _2. Humph, such arrogant words. Mo Wuzong's aura suddenly surged, reaching the peak of the early stage of the Golden Core realm. His cold gaze fell on Lu Yin. "Today, I'll let you know the true power of this saint child." Suddenly, a metallic vibration sounded, and the laws of heaven and earth intertwined. The crimson blood spirit, ghostly spear, carrying a supreme divine might, pierced through the air towards him. "It seems there's no avoiding this battle." Lu Yun sighed softly. Then, as if a divine ape leaped, his long saber turned into a flood dragon coming out of the ocean, heading towards his opponent. For a moment, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the void. The saber light and spear shadows collided heavily, and the unleashed laws exploded, continuously sending out waves of terror. The speed of the two was so fast it turned into a blur, the figures relentlessly crossing paths and charging, too fast for ordinary people to track. Only those at the same stage, the Golden Core realm, could discern a few clues. Boom! 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 Clang! The intense and dangerous battle continued. The azure cloud dragon scale saber and the blood spirit, ghostly spear, repeatedly collided, and both sides' bodies kept charging forward. This battle was not only a clash of weapons, but also a contest of physical strength and a competition of divine abilities. Many people noticed that Lu Yun's physical constitution was far stronger than Mo Wuzong's, but the azure cloud dragon scale saber in his hand seemed not to be weak. After continuous charging and clashing, it gradually revealed a slight trace of wear. Mo Wuzong's blood spirit, ghostly spear, was a mid-level treasure artifact, while Lu Yun's azure cloud dragon scale saber was only a superior profound artifact. 2 levels apart, it couldn't compete at all. After another dozen exchanges, the azure cloud dragon scale saber finally couldn't bear the pressure and broke with a poochie. Boom! A dull sound echoed as the crimson netherworld spear, wrapped in endless law runes, fell like a crimson pillar supporting the sky, bursting with killing intent. The red light obscured the sun. The murderous intent shook the void, and blood-red spear lights flashed across the sky. Humph! Both of your divine abilities are based on saber cultivation. Without your saber, let's see how you'll fight against me. Mo Wuzong said coldly. The blood spirit, ghostly spear, like a crimson demon god, wrapped in unparalleled runes of 10,000 suns, pierced downward. The divine might it emanated would shock any early-stage Golden Core realm fighter. Lu Yun dodged and then summoned the Netherworld Gate again, trying to suppress Mo Wuzong. Blood God sweep! Mo Wuzong roared, the spear suddenly spinning, creating a vortex of blood-red light before his entire body spun like a top, and the spear unleashed a terrifying beam of light. This beam of light, formed by intertwined law runes, was so dense that it even shook the void. Lu Yun's expression changed. 10 flying swords whirled out, forming a rudimentary sword array to hold back the spear beam. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lu Yun quickly dodged away. Poochie! With a crisp sound, 3 of the 10 flying swords were immediately blasted apart. The loss of the superior profound artifact-level azure, cloud dragon scale saber, and now the loss of 3 top-tier profound artifacts left Lu Yun in immense pain. When I use my full power, I am beyond your imagination, Mo Wuzong declared, his eyes cold and sharp like a blade. Kill! He looked like a madman, his disheveled hair flying wildly as he danced with his spear, looking down from a high position as he charged towards Lu Yun. The void was torn apart, and the Rune Seed Realm fighters from both sides retreated. The battle between these two was simply too powerful, incomprehensible to them. If they were carelessly involved, they would suffer serious injuries, if not killed. Boom! The spear was like a flood dragon, as Mo Wuzong grew increasingly aggressive. Each spear thrust was aimed at cutting off Lu Yun's escape paths. He became more and more fierce and domineering, seeming as though he wanted to pierce the void. His long black hair flew about, and his crimson robe released dazzling light, emitting an unparalleled aura of terror. Lu Yun, die! He shouted loudly, and the law runes wrapped around the outside of his golden core flew out, dazzling and resplendent, accompanied by the deafening roar of the great Daos resonance. He swooped down with his spear aimed at Lu Yun's head, unleashing his strongest divine ability, wanting to skewer Lu Yun through his spear. The heavens and earth trembled. The void surged like an ocean, and under this intensely powerful spear, everything else seemed dull and lifeless. Only that spear, piercing through the horizon, suppressing all of life, was truly awe-inspiring and absolutely terrifying. Lu Yun hadn't expected his opponent to be so strong. The golden core continuously supplied him with endless power, and the number of laws on the runes reached a terrifying scale. Every single spear thrust was difficult to defend against. Especially this spear, it was several times more powerful than before. If he were to take it head-on, the consequences would be severe. Trying to evade it would not be enough. Lu Yun took a deep breath and put all his effort into operating the Netherworld Gate, mobilizing all the law runes in his body to strengthen it. Instantly, the Netherworld Gate transformed into a towering portal that collided with that terrifying spear beam. However, the power of this spear was truly terrifying, practically resonating with the heavens and earth. With a boom, the Netherworld Gate shuddered and was violently knocked back into the sky. The boundless power carried by the spear beam tore through the sky like a force of nature, aiming for Lu Yun's physical body, intent on pinning him dead in the void. Let's see how you'll stop this. Mo Wuzong had long ago perfected his cultivation to the Golden Core realm and had the ability to fight beyond his level. Now he had reached the limit of the early stage of the Golden Core realm. Each rune carried at least 200 laws, and few among his peers could compete against him. Chapter 496. Full Power Self-Destruction Rules _3 with a soft plop. Lu Yun's body was instantly pierced through, turning into a residual afterimage and disappearing on the spot. At the same time, the Netherworld Gate, suspended in the air, turned into a rainbow light, swiftly flying towards the distant horizon. Seeing this scene, Mo Wuzong was initially stunned. Once he reacted, he immediately understood that Lu Yun had escaped. Impossible to escape immediately. With long hair fluttering in the wind, he turned into a bloody light, rapidly chasing after Lu Yun. Under the full force explosion of a Golden Core realm expert, only a barely visible trace could be left in the void, which would disappear in the blink of an eye. Fighting Mo Wuzong was a waste of time, and Lu Yun was determined to get rid of him. Once he had gained a certain distance from his opponent, he used the instant horizon technique, completely disappearing from Mo Wuzong's sight. On another side, boom, the thundercloud bell vibrated, and the red moon demonic scythe's aura was overwhelming. Hua Yunhui mobilized the power within the cave heavens, pushing down with a palm, forcing the red moon demon sect leader to step back slightly. Up to this point in the battle, Hua Yunhui had gained the upper hand. Both had condensed a set of rules, but Hua Yunhui's thundercloud bell was evidently superior. Damn it! After the Thundercloud Bell fell into the hands of the Meridian's Yuan Emperor, it not only generated a new weapon spirit, but its power also increased significantly. The Red Moon Demon sect leader was filled with hatred. Without this happening, Hua Yunhui would not be able to gain the upper hand. Gai Juyo, you are not my match, and the Red Moon Demon sect will eventually be eradicated from the 100 sect. Gai Juyo was the real name of the Red Moon Demon sect leader, a name that had always been unknown to outsiders. Even those who knew it would not dare to call him by this name. Only celestial humans like Hua Yunhui, who possessed rules, could call his name. Humph. Even with the Thundercloud Bell, you can only barely gain the upper hand. Defeating me is impossible. Gai Juyo snorted coldly, used all the power of heaven and earth within the cave heavens, bestowed it upon the Red Moon demonic scythe and rolling black fog form chains that pierced through the void. The Thundercloud Bell vibrated, creating endless ripples, causing the void within a radius of thousands of miles to collapse layer by layer. It's you who force me. You will pay the price for trying to kill me. At that moment, an angry voice suddenly resounded in the void. Immediately after, a terrifying power surged. Such a terrifying fluctuation was even more horrifying than the self-detonation of the golden core. Boom! 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 The destructive impact raged. A huge piece of the void was visibly cracking and collapsing. But under the influence of a mysterious power, it slowly recovered. After a long time, the destructive fluctuations gradually subsided. In the void, Li Juyian's cave heavens were filled with numerous cracks, almost reaching their limit. However, the cave heavens gradually shrank and finally disappeared into Li Juyian's body. Do you think that by self-destructing a rule, you can change the final outcome? In the void battlefield, with a thought in Gongsun Zonghong's mind, the vast cave heavens suppressed downward towards the void. Boom! 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 The void immediately dispersed. Inside the cave heavens, 2 rules turned into golden bridges, crossing the void. Li Jiuyin, who had condensed the broken cave heavens and was preparing to escape, looked at the sudden appearance of the golden bridges, and his face changed drastically. Damn it, you've even made the rules outside the cave heavens connect with the void. Don't you fear death? Li Jiuyin couldn't understand why his opponent was willing to pay any price to kill him. It was important to know that the rules within the boundless void and those within a celestial human's cave heavens were incompatible. Once the 2 sets of rules collided, there was a high probability of both rules being destroyed and the cave heavens being annihilated. Now, Gongsun Zonghong's actions were tantamount to forcibly connecting the passageways between the 2 cave heavens. If they were not careful, both their cave heavens could be destroyed by the rules entering from the void. With the golden bridge connecting the boundless void, the 2 separate cave heavens had already become connected through 2 channels. Gongsun Zonghong stepped onto the golden bridge and entered the cave heavens. Li Jiuyin, your demise is upon you. The grand voice, like the roaring of the great Tao, resounded throughout Li Juyian's cave heavens. Chapter 497. Demon Suppression Army Commander, Xiahou Shu in the Endless Battlefield. Lu Yin looked at the golden bridge that suddenly appeared in the void, sacred and full of mysteries. This golden bridge seemed like a connection to the other shore, with the other end being incomparably mysterious, making people both yearn for and fear it. Lu Yin, if you are capable, don't run away and fight this saint child. An extremely angry voice came from behind. It was Mo Wuzong, who had been chasing Lu Yun all this time. Giving a faint glance behind him, Lu Yun ignored the other party. His figure flashed, and he disappeared on the spot again. At the place he left, the body of a Rune Seed Realm Peak powerhouse slowly fell. Elsewhere, Gai Juyo, who had been using his divine ability, gradually became unable to withstand the pressure. As for strength, the difference between him and Hua Yunhui was negligible, but the Red Moon demonic scythe was no match for the Thundercloud Bell. Guy Juyu's eyes were cold. The demon suppression army hid so deeply, using two heavenly human realm powerhouses who comprehend the rules, and even using this spiritual object, the Thundercloud Bell, in this one battlefield. Thinking about this, he already had the intention to retreat. Next, he spoke, and his voice entered the ears of all the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect martial artists on the battlefield. Withdraw from the battlefield immediately. As soon as these words came out, it was an announcement of the defeat of the Red Moon Demon Sect. In the face of the Demon Suppression Army, gradually gaining the upper hand, retreating was their only way out. So, after all the martial artists heard Guy Ju's order, they began to retreat towards the outside of the battlefield. However, they wanted to retreat, but the Demon Suppression Army would not let them retreat so easily. Hua Yunhui stood tall in the void, his golden, deep eyes looking down over the entire battlefield. His solemn and majestic voice echoed in the ears of the Demon Suppression Army. Attack the enemy with full force. The moment the words fell, his body standing on the thundercloud bell moved, and a palm struck directly towards Gaijio. The terrible golden giant palm was entwined with the powerful force of the rules, causing Gaijio's expression to change drastically as he hurriedly mobilized the rules within the cave heavens and slapped out with his palm. At the moment when the two horrifying giant palms collided in the void, the latter broke apart. Immediately after, that horrifying force directly struck Guy Ju's body but was blocked by a barrier. The cave heavens returned to his body, and Guy Juyo coldly said, "You can't stop me from leaving. Don't waste your energy. As the mighty sect leader of the Red Moon Demon Sect, you flee in such a way. Aren't you afraid of not being able to stand in the 100 sects?" Hua Yunhui spoke indifferently. He did not take action against Guy Juyo, just as the other party said he couldn't stop him. As of now, in this one battle, the main force of the Red Moon Demon Sect was lost, and he could easily attack their mountain gate in the future, so that by then, even if they wanted to escape, there would be no way out. Just then, the void trembled. An unwilling cry of anger echoed throughout the entire endless battlefield. Following that, a cave heavens turned into countless fragments, flying towards all directions, and disappeared into the void. At the same time, Een Wuji's body shook, and like a porcelain, it was covered in countless cracks, with light bursting out from those cracks. In less than a breath, the majestic and powerful body completely shattered. A large amount of blood spilled out, and endless laws shot out in all directions. This scene was witnessed by the retreating Red Moon Demon Sect martial artists, and their minds were almost lost. The Supreme Elder has fallen! Impossible! The Supreme Elder is a celestial human, invincible in the world. How could he fall like this? It can't be. Many Rune Seed Realm and Golden Core Realm powerhouses shook their heads, their faces full of disbelief. In their minds, a heavenly human was indestructible, and the only thing that could threaten a heavenly human realm was time. However, the reality was in front of them, and they couldn't help but believe it. For a moment, the morale of these Red Moon Demon Sect powerhouses plummeted even further. Outside the void battlefield, the strong people watching this scene were all shaken by the scene. Een Wujia, with the help of the Divine Flower, condensed a rule and almost reached the invincible level. But still, he was killed by Gongsun Zhonghong. He really is extremely strong. Gongsun Zhonghong's strength has reached such an extent that he can kill heavenly humans who have condensed rules. Doesn't that mean that the Demon Suppression Army Commander Xiahou Shu's strength is even more terrifying? As this was said, the other powerful beings' hearts trembled again. Gongsun Zhonghong was only one of the Demon Suppression Army's vice commanders, and he was powerful enough to kill Een Wujia, which meant that as the Demon Suppression Army commander, Xiahou Shu's strength had reached unfathomable levels. In this way, the power of the Demon Suppression Army would become truly unstoppable. After killing another Rune Seed Realm's peak, Lu Yun suddenly heard an unwilling roar of anger. Then he saw numerous dazzling golden lights, which, after reaching their peak, dimmed as if they were meteor-like. Afterward, mushroom cloud fluctuations spread rapidly in all directions throughout the endless battlefield. Seeing this, Lu Yin knew right away what had happened. A heavenly human has fallen, and it seems to be one from the Red Moon Demon sect side. Understanding this point, Lu Yun once again accelerated the pace of hunting down his enemies. Now, with the complete defeat of the Red Moon Demon sect, this was his last chance to harvest the spoils of war, and he couldn't let it slip easily. So, Lu Yin started the hunt again. At the top of the void battlefield, Gai Juyo saw the shattered cave heavens. His face suddenly changed, and then boundless fury surged up in his heart. How could he not see who the fallen heavenly human was? It seems that you can't leave now. Hua Yinhui said with a faint smile. He alone couldn't keep Gai Juyo, but with Gong Sun Zhonghong, they had a very high chance. Chapter 498. Demon Suppression Army Commander. Xiahou Shu _2 upon hearing this. Gai Juyo coldly glanced at the other party and immediately tore through space, preparing to leave. Gai Juyo, do you think you can leave unscathed now? At this moment, an authoritative voice sounded, as if coming from beyond the domain, striking terror into the soul. Then, a figure bathed in golden light, resembling a god, emerged in the void, unleashing an unparalleled, terrifying force, arriving in front of Gai Juyo. The divine might spread, as if a huge sun was falling, and the entire void shook and rumbled, causing Gai Juyo's figure to pause slightly. Gong Sun Zhonghong, it's you. Upon recognizing the visitor, Gai Juyo's expression turned serious. Back when Gong Sun Zhonghong was only at the Golden Core realm, Gai Juyo had personally tried to kill him but failed. Now that they met again, not only had the other party reached the same realm, but he also killed a celestial human of the Red Moon Demon sect. Gong Sun Zhonghong, I deeply regret not using my full power to kill you back then. If not, there wouldn't be a day like this. Gai Juyo said, his aura becoming even more intense brightness, fluctuating like an ocean and making the nearby void tremble. 20 years ago, when you condescended to attack me, I vowed to take revenge one day. Gong Sun Zhonghong spoke, the divine light within his body erupting from within like it was about to ignite, his thick black hair waving without wind, the entire person like a sun, powerful and dazzling. Gai Juyo coldly glanced at Hua Yinhui. Then his gaze fell on Gong Sun Zhonghong and said coldly, Since you want revenge so badly, do you dare to fight me alone in the void? A lone fight? Gong Sun Zhonghong sneered coldly. At this point, you still have such unrealistic ideas? As his words finished, he pressed his palm forward, and the rumbling sound of the great Tao was heard as the vast rune enveloped the front area, making the entire void completely volatile. Ha ha ha, Gai Juyo, today is your end. Hua Yanhui's unrestrained voice fell in Gai Juyo's ears like a haunting nightmare. With two powerful celestial humans attacking, he was definitely no match. He wanted to escape, but the opponent did not give him a chance. At once, the sect leader of the Red Moon Demon sect, Gai Juyo's face turned cold and fierce. If you want to kill me, let's see if you have the capacity. Every ounce of power within the cave heavens was mobilized by him, and his whole aura once again surged, causing even the space around to seem unstable, shaking and about to collapse. In this instant, Gai Juyo's power reached an unprecedented peak. Merely futile struggle. After Hua Yinhui coldly snorted, the thundercloud bell violently trembled, coming down with a heavy blow. With just Gong Sun Zhonghong alone, Gai Juyo could hardly cope. Now that Hua Yinhui had joined in, he was immediately at a disadvantage. Gai Juyo, 30 years have passed, but your strength has hardly grown, which disappoints me. Gong Sun Zhonghong spoke with a cold, mocking tone hitting the enemy. As he spoke, he manifested the cave heavens with two rules and headed towards Gai Juyo. Already stronger than Gai Jiao, and with the help of Hua Yunhui, he had an absolute upper hand and naturally wanted to use his most powerful force to slay the enemy. With a loud bang, Gong Sun Zonghong's aura grew even stronger, encompassing the ultimate power of the cave heavens, as if a whole world descended. Facing such a strong and pressing offensive, Gai Jiao still did not manifest his cave heavens. He understood that once he manifested his cave heavens, he would truly be trapped. Splash! Just as he was struggling with Gong Sun Zonghong, the thundercloud bell broke through the seal of the red moon demonic scythe and slammed into Gai Jiao. Instantly, golden blood spurted from his mouth. Hatred, hatred, it seems that there is only this final path left to take. Gai Jiao's deep eyes filled with endless hatred. As his thoughts moved, the red moon demonic scythe drew a trail in the sky, followed by a bloody red aura that spread everywhere, enveloping everything. At the same time, several red scythe lights flew out, tearing the sky apart and causing both Hua Yunhui and Gong Sun Zonghong to pause slightly. What does this guy want to do? Hua Yunhui felt a little uneasy in his heart and immediately summoned the thundercloud bell to guard in front of him. Sect leader, don't! Just at this moment, a voice full of fear came from the red moon demonic scythe. Before the words finished, the blood-red robed phantom inside the red moon demonic scythe turned into a spirit light, trying to escape into the void. But before it could fully break free from its body, a fierce explosion was triggered. The red moon demonic scythe collided instantly, and then a blood-red wave instantly spread in the void. Suddenly, the originally gray and dim void was completely engulfed by blood-red light. Accompanying it was a grand wave. Even the powerful beings far outside the battlefield felt this fluctuation. Gai Jiao, worthy of being the sect leader of the Red Moon Demon sect. He was even willing to self-destruct the spirit artifact. Tizkei, a spirit artifact is a treasure that suppresses the luck of a great sect. Its significance is extraordinary. To self-destruct like this, even if they can escape from here, the Red Moon Demon sect would be left with nothing but its name. Among the 100 sects, those who have managed to enter the ranks of the top sects relied on spirit artifacts to suppress their sect's luck. Otherwise, even if a sect had the fortune to give birth to a celestial human, it still could not enter the ranks of the top sections. The power of the Red Moon demonic scythe almost equaled the weakest celestial human. The explosion caused by its self-destruction was extremely terrifying, constantly disrupting the rules of this void and completely breaking the blockade of Gong Sun Zonghong and Hua Yunhui. As long as I am still here, there will come a day when the Red Moon Demon sect will rise again. Gai Jiao's voice drifted out of the void, and at the same time his figure quickly left the battlefield and disappeared into the distant void. Damn it, he got away. Only after the thundercloud bell suppressed the aftermath of the explosion did Hua Yunhui realize that Gai Jiao had escaped from their encirclement. Seeing Gai Jiao about to disappear from his sight completely, a hint of disappointment flashed in Gong Sun Zonghong's eyes. Not only did he fail to avenge their past grievances, but he also felt disappointed at allowing a celestial human who had comprehended the rules to escape. Just as the two of them were feeling disappointed, there was a sudden movement in the void. Clang! Boom, boom, boom. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Countless sounds resonated through the void above the battlefield. The booming sound was heavy, almost echoing in everyone's hearts. Hearing this faint sound, Lu Yin paused in his pursuit and looked up towards the source of the sound. Light. He saw a ray of light. Within this mysterious sound, there was light it could be seen, heard, and felt. The visible void was rippling from the sound and filled with the radiance. He did not know what color or length the light was, but it emitted a terrifying pressure in the void. Sigh. With a soft sigh, a man in dark golden armor appeared in the void, with an extraordinarily vast and elusive aura, incredibly magnificent. Who is he? Lu Yun muttered to himself, having a guess in his heart. Such an ostentatious entrance, with a power surpassing all celestial humans and wearing dark golden armor. There was only one person in the demon suppression army who possessed such strength. So this is the army commander of the demon suppression army, Xiahou Shu. Lu Yun secretly clicked his tongue. In his perception, Xiahou Shu's power could not be described in words. If Gong Sun Zhonghong and other celestial humans were like dazzling suns, then Xiahou Shu was like the boundless void. Army commander of the demon suppression army, Xiahou Shu. Gai Jiao gritted his teeth, and the rule within his cave heaven self-destructed. His momentum reached its peak again, and he burst out with the ultimate speed, retreating explosively towards the rear. The name of the army commander of the demon suppression army had been resonating in the 100 sects for countless years, and he was not something that Gai Jiao, who had only comprehended one rule, could handle. Moreover, he had been seriously injured by Gong Sun Zhonghong and Hua Yanhui's encirclement, and his strength had plummeted to its lowest after exploding the red moon demonic scythe. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Within a brief moment, Gai Jia's body was covered in black light. The power of the cave heavens circulated and erupted, and he retreated to an extremely far distance. Glancing back at Xiahou Shu, Gai Jia let out a sigh of relief, his eyes filled with indifference. It seems that Xiahou Shu is not as hiss. Before his words could settle, a beam of annihilating light traveled through the endless distance and pierced into Gai Jiu's body. Crack! Gai Jiu's body showed cracks like a porcelain vase. His internal cave heavens seemed to have suffered a heavy blow, constantly weakening and collapsing. Within a few breaths, the once mighty cave heavens quickly disintegrated. Meanwhile, Gai Jiu's body could not withstand the annihilating light and shattered first. With his head down and a cry of unwillingness, Gai Jiu turned into fragments and disappeared into the void. Chapter 499. The 9 Nether Demon Sect retreats, heading towards the secret realm Scarlet Moon Demon Domain. In the dim, starry sky, a vortex swirls, and traces of past annihilation can still be sensed. Clad in a dark, golden battle robe, Xiahou Shu flickers like an illusion. His deep and dark golden eyes sweep across a void, glancing over the 100 sects powerhouses hidden in it, causing them to shiver slightly. Even the celestial human of the Green Cloud sect, Yun Xian Venerable, feels a chill up his spine. The army commander of the demon suppression army, Xiahou Shu, is terrifying. Also a celestial human, he feels he is void of any fighting spirit in front of Xiahou Shu. Observing how Xiahou Shu obliterated Gai Jia with thunderous momentum gives him a stark realization. Such a terrifying man, even if the sect master were to personally take action, might not be his match. Thinking of this, he breaks into a cold sweat. Then, with a word of excuse to the people around him, his figure swiftly vanishes into the void. With the departure of Yun Xian Venerable, the rest of the 100 sects powerhouses also flee. The shock caused by Xiahou Shu is too terrifying, they dare not linger. Xiahou Shu doesn't react to their departure, or rather, doesn't care. His gaze passes the boundless battlefield, settling on a distant void. There, another gaze comes, belonging to the domineering middle-aged man known as the Clan Master. Mo Yuan Clan Master. Instead of staying in your territory, you're venturing into the human race's territory. Are the sea beast tribe coveting our coastal territory? Feeling Xiahou Shu's formidable aura, Mo Yuan's demeanor becomes slightly stern. The strength of this demon suppression army commander is stronger than he anticipated. More intimidating is his attitude. The coastal area has always been the territory of sea beasts. There's no talk of coveting. Frowning slightly, Mo Yuan responds indifferently. Humph, the coastal area has always been the territory of the human race. It was before and still is, and it will always remain so. Xiahou Shu responds instantly. It's pointless to say more. One day, the living beings in this region will be my vast sea clan, not your human race. As he finishes, waves appear around Mo Yuan in the void, and in the blink of an eye his figure, along with bulky sea beasts, vanishes in the void. Besides Gong Sun Zhonghong and Hua Yinhui, these two celestial humans, no one else can perceive this brief scene. Finally, he's gone. Hua Yinhui can't help but click his tongue in secret. Having been stationed so long on this battlefield, he naturally discovered Mo Yuan's presence early on. While fighting Gaijio, he never dared to go full force, let alone use cave heavens, for fear that Mo Yuan would suddenly attack. If he hadn't left, I'd be worried about getting away unscathed. At this time, the voice of Gong Sun Zhonghong resounds. While he's wary of Mo Yuan, he's not terrified of him. On land, no matter how capable Mo Yuan is, he can only exert 6 or 7/10 of his strength, so there's nothing to fear. Even if Mo Yuan is one of the top bosses of the Sea Beast tribe, not to mention his countless divine abilities, even his terrifying physical strength is enough to make him nearly invincible. If he gets involved, it won't be easy for us to win this fight. Gong Sun Zhonghong wears a light smile. He doesn't agree with what Hua Yinhui said, but he doesn't voice any disagreement. They and other celestial humans sensed Mo Yuan's presence, but failed to detect Xiahou Shu's arrival. It just goes to show that Xiahou Shu, the army commander of the Demon Suppression Army, outranks Mo Yuan in both realm and strength. This alone is enough to make Mo Yuan, a dominant figure of the Sea Beast tribe, fear him. With the defeat and retreat of the Red Moon Demon Sect and the fall of Gaijio and Li Juin, the Demon Suppression Army achieved a victory like never before. Even so, the Demon Suppression Army, adhering to the principle of chasing a beaten enemy vigorously, goes after the fleeing enemy. Scarlet Moon Demon Domain, Northfield Battlefront. This is one of the battlefields where the Demon Suppression Army is fighting tooth and nail with the Red Moon Demon Sect and 9 Nether Demon Sect. At this moment, the battling powerhouses witness a dazzling golden light in the void growing to its fullest, then bursting into a blinding radiance, like a meteor crossing the sky quickly and then quickly dimming. This spectacle makes many powerhouses above the Rune Seed realm hesitate. They all look towards the direction where this vibration is coming from. In that direction, there's only endless void, and the residual traces left by the radiant brilliance, nothing else. But in their hearts, a recognition rises right away. A powerhouse has fallen. And for the fallen to cause such strong vibrations and transmit to such a far distance can only mean that the fallen is a celestial human at the pinnacle of martial arts. I wonder whose celestial human has fallen. Demon Extermination General of heavenly level from the Demon Suppression Army, Fong Chung mumbles. In his Northfield battlefront, numerous Rune Seed realm powerhouses have fallen after months of fierce battles, numbering in the hundreds, and the number of fallen Golden Core powerhouses is in the double digits. However, among celestial humans, there are still 4 standing unchanged. I hope the celestial human that perished wasn't our vice commander. Fong Ching mutters quietly to himself, his gaze falling on the strong enemy. Over the past few months, he has engaged with no less than 5 Golden Core realm powerhouses, but none were killed in the end. Most times, after wounding the enemy, they quickly disperse or saved by other powerhouses of the 9 Nether Demon Sect. Chapter 500. The 9 Nether Demon Sect retreats, heading towards the secret realm, _2 as for him. He had also suffered a severe injury once. However, it wasn't because his strength was insufficient, but because he was sneak attacked by a powerful figure from the Nether Demon Sect. After retreating from the battlefield, he had recuperated for nearly half a month. After that lesson, he never went all out in any battle, always reserving a portion of his mental focus to guard against sudden sneak attacks. In fact, most of the powerful fighters on the battlefield were like him. As for those who fought fiercely with their powerful opponents, their ultimate fate was nearly always death. So far, among the 10-odd Golden Core realm experts that both sides had lost, most of them had not died by the hands of their opponents, but been killed by sneak attacks instead. Golden Core realm experts had too many life-saving methods, so it was very difficult to kill them. In addition to defeating them with absolute power, the only other way was to catch them off guard with a sneak attack. A celestial human has fallen, and that aura belongs to the Red Moon Demon Sect's celestial human. It seems that in this battle, our demon suppression army has taken the upper hand. Once the Red Moon Demon Sect is defeated, your 9 Nether Demon Sect will soon follow in their footsteps. The 4th Army Commander of the Demon Suppression Army, Wenrenwu, spoke coldly. The fall of a celestial human was different from that of an ordinary Golden Core realm expert. Even for a top-ranked sect like the Red Moon Demon Sect, they would be at the peak of their combat power. The fall of a single celestial human was enough to cause turbulence across the entire battlefield. Upon hearing this, the sect master of the 9 Nether Demon Sect, Qin Shan Venerable, showed a hint of coldness in his eyes, but his attacks did not cease. It's just a temporary gain or loss, and it doesn't matter. As long as the Red Moon Demon sect leader, Gai Jiao, hasn't fallen, the true outcome is still unknown. He wasn't sure how things were going on the other side. At this time, most of the power of the 9 Nether Demon Sect was invested here, and part of the power was supporting the Red Moon Demon Sect. Aside from that, the profound darkness domain only had the sect master guarding it. Now, what the 9 Nether Demon Sect really needed to do was to win this battlefield, causing the Demon Suppression Army's strength to suffer a great loss and preventing their further advance. Otherwise, the 9 Nether Demon territory would become the next Scarlet Moon Demon domain. By that time, the 9 Nether Demon Sect would have no room for maneuver. Boom! Another horrifying aftershock came from the original direction, followed by a fleeting, brilliant meteor. Another celestial human has fallen! Qin Shan Venerable's face changed abruptly as he gazed at the collapsing aura, and a feeling of powerlessness soon rose within him. He knew clear who the fallen celestial human was. It seems that Gai Jiao, whom you have high hopes for, has also perished. Wenrenwu smiled slightly. The fall of Gai Jiao meant that the last barrier of the Red Moon Demon Sect ceased to exist, and even if there were any remaining forces, they would not pose any threat to the Demon Suppression Army. Upon hearing this, Qin Shan Venerable cast a cold glance at his opponent, but didn't refute him at this moment. He knew in his heart that the situation was irreversible. Immediately, he stopped fighting with Wenrenwu and spoke, his voice reaching the ears of all the 9 Nether Demon Sect's experts. All disciples of the 9 Nether Demon Sect withdraw from the Scarlet Moon Demon domain immediately. Upon hearing this command, a large number of 9 Nether Demon Sect disciples and their subordinate forces began to retreat. Having already been at a disadvantage, their hurried retreat led to their immediate collapse. Issue my command, pursue and kill the martial artists of the 9 Nether Demon Sect for 100,000 miles, until they have all left the Scarlet Moon Demon domain. The moment his words fell, he too attacked ruthlessly, launching his boundless divine palm towards Qin Shan Venerable. Although he knew he couldn't stop his opponent, he couldn't let him escape easily either. If he could entangle his opponent long enough for reinforcements to arrive, perhaps they could kill him and weaken the 9 Nether Demon Sect's power in one fell swoop. If it weren't for the Heavenly Mystery Sword Sect, the Green Cloud Sect, and other forces sitting on the sidelines, the Red Moon Demon Sect would not have fallen so quickly. Qin Shan Venerable was filled with hatred in his heart, hating the Demon Suppression Army of Morijin, and even more so those sects that stood idly by. In his view, the Demon Suppression Army was powerful, but couldn't achieve enough force to crush the 100 sects completely. As long as the top sects united as one, they could keep the Demon Suppression Army at bay in the nearby sea areas. Unfortunately, the Green Cloud Sect, the Heavenly Mystery Sword Sect, and others chose to stay out of the matter, allowing the Demon Suppression Army to invade the nearby sea areas in succession. Now, even the Red Moon Demon Sect's 2 celestial humans had fallen. It wouldn't be long before the vast Scarlet Moon demon domain would fall into the hands of Morijin, and it would then serve as a springboard for the demon suppression army's continued invasion of the 100 sects. The anger and hatred in his heart did not cloud Qin Shan Venerable's reason. He retreated while dealing with Wenrenwis attacks. At the same time, another venerable from the 9 Nether Demon sect retreated from the Scarlet Moon demon domain under the pursuit of a demon suppression army vice commander. This pursuit lasted for 100,000 miles before the demon suppression army stopped after fully leaving the Scarlet Moon demon domain. The Scarlet Moon demon domain was far larger than the White Lotus domain, Profound Darkness domain, and other territories. The Red Moon demon sect still had some remnants, and if not dealt with, they would pose a significant threat. Therefore, the demon suppression army would not enter the 9 Nether Demon territory before completely eliminating the hidden dangers of the Scarlet Moon demon domain. It's finally over. After killing the last rune Seed Realm Peak expert, Lu Yin felt a sense of relief. After Gaiju's fall, the Red Moon demon sect had been completely defeated and pursued by the demon suppression army. This pursuit had spanned almost half of the Scarlet Moon demon domain, and among those who escaped from the battlefield, there were only a dozen or so Golden Core Realm experts and a handful of Rune Seed Realm experts. All the others had fallen under the demon suppression army's ruthless slaughter. With this, the war on this part of the Void battlefield was finally over. Chapter 501. The 9 Nether Demon sect retreats, heading towards the secret realm under 3 standing in the void. Looking back, the path was littered with numerous corpses, strewn across the heavens and earth. The blood stained every inch of the Scarlet Moon demon domain, every inch of the mountains and rivers, emanating a strong evil chi. In this war, not to mention the fall of the celestial humans, there were dozens of Golden Core realm powerhouses alone. In this war, although our demon suppression army emerged victorious, the losses in heavenly level and earth rank demon extermination generals were substantial. It will take decades to recover. Fortunately, our demon suppression army's vice commanders all survived. Otherwise, such losses would take over 100 years to recover, let alone continue the campaign. Lu Yin turned around and saw Duge Yuan, who was covered in blood. This heavenly level demon extermination general still radiated a strong, murderous intent, which did not dissipate with the end of the war. His gaze gave a powerful visual impact. A common Rune Seed Realm cultivator would find it difficult to stand steadily under this murderous intent. Fortunately, Lu Yun's martial arts was no weaker than a regular Golden Core Realm cultivator. Even compared to Duge Yuan, a strong Golden Core Realm cultivator, he was hardly inferior. General Dugu must have gained quite a bit this time. Lu Yun smiled faintly. Hearing his words, Duge Yuan shook his head. After entering the Golden Core Realm, every advancement takes decades, if not hundreds of years. So the true benefit this time lies in battling to death against peers of my level, which gives me some insights and increases my chances of advancing to the middle stage of the Golden Core Realm. However, pausing slightly, his gaze on Lu Yun turned somewhat strange. Compared to my intangible gains, Lu Yun, your harvest is the greatest. He remembered that when he first saw Lu Yun, his cultivation was at the origin fluid realm, and his strength was equivalent to the peak of the golden body realm at best. Now only a few months had passed, and Lu Yun had successively broken through to the golden body realm and the rune seed realm. His true strength was now comparable to the Golden Core Realm. Even Yin Wujia, the renowned sect master of the Netherworld sect in 100 sects, an old-school Golden Core Realm cultivator, had fallen in his hands. Thinking of Lu Yun's remarkable achievements, Duge Yuan was filled with envy. Hearing this, Lu Yun nodded slightly. Indeed, his harvest this time was impressive. Beyond advancing his martial arts realm and strength, he had also cultivated his martial arts will and mastered 2 divine abilities. Most importantly, during this hunt, he had killed many rune seed realm cultivators, obtaining countless pills, spirit crystals, and spiritual objects from their Sumi rings. As the two of them were talking, a figure shot quickly through the void and landed in front of them. It was Linghu Dao, another heavenly-level demon extermination general from the Far Suppression Legion. Linghu Dao also emanated a thick, murderous intent, though not as thick as Dugayuan's. The sect protection array of the Red Moon Demon sect has been broken. We found 2 intact secret realms inside, the Blood Slaughter and Devil Cloud domains, which will be beneficial for those in the Rune Seed realm and Golden Core realm. With that, Linghu Dao looked at Lu Yun and Dugayuan with a smile on his face. What do you guys think? Interested? Secret realms. Dugayuan's interest was piqued, and he immediately asked, "What's the cost?" Linghu Dao shook his head. Secret realms are rare cultivation spots. If we were to open them up to the demon suppression army, the demand would outstrip the supply. The realms could even be destroyed. However, the price for us is nothing much, just around 100,000 demon extermination points. 100,000 demon extermination points. That's acceptable. Dugayuan agreed with satisfaction. Having reached the initial limit of the Golden Core realm and experienced several months of life and death battles, he had accumulated a lot of insights and needed a place for seclusion to thoroughly comprehend them. Although 100,000 demon extermination points was a lot, it was within his acceptance range. Lu Yin was also eager to explore the secret realms. He smiled and said, "Count me in." "Ha ha ha, let's all go together then." The 3 of them shared a laugh, then turned into 3 streaks of light and disappeared into the void. Chapter 502, Blood Slaughter Secret Realm, Demonic Beast Essence Core Red Moon Demon Sect. Lu Yin. Upon arrival of Linghu, Dao, and Dugayuan, the Demon Suppression Army had already been stationed here. When they saw Lu Yin and others arriving, a yellow-rank demon extermination general came forward and saluted with clasped hands. "Greetings to all the generals. No need for formalities." Linghu Dao spoke indifferently, then asked, "We came for the blood-slaughtering secret realm and the Devil Cloud domain. Are you willing to lead us there?" "It would be my honor." Therefore, under the guidance of the black-rank demon extermination general, the 3 came to the Merit Exchange Center to exchange their places to enter the secret realms. Among them, entry to the blood-slaughtering secret realm required 100,000 demon extermination points, while the Devil Cloud domain required 200,000 demon extermination points. Lu Yun spent 100,000 demon extermination points for a place in the blood-slaughtering secret realm. Outside the blood-slaughtering secret realm, there were many Earth-rank demon extermination generals, including by Changfeng and Zhang Wenyin, whom Lu Yin knew. Without exception, these people were at the peak of Rune Seed realm. All eyes looking at the blood-slaughtering secret realm were filled with anticipation. They were expecting that this blood-slaughtering secret realm would bring benefits to their breakthroughs in cultivation. The blood-slaughtering secret realm is one of the training sanctuaries for the Red Moon Demon sect's powerful forces. It is generally rarely opened. A heavenly-level demon extermination general standing in front of the secret realm portal introduced it to Lu Yun and the others. Now that it has fallen into the hands of our demon suppression army, we naturally won't let it idle. Furthermore, considering the need for more top combat power in the upcoming battles, the army commanders have decided to give you some opportunities. As he finished, an ancient stone door behind him revealed shining blood-colored light, mysterious runes blooming, distorting the void, and a mysterious whirlpool portal appeared faintly. The blood-slaughtering secret realm portal is now open, and you only have 3 days. I hope you can make good use of this opportunity. The heavenly-level demon extermination general guarding the blood-slaughtering secret realm spoke seriously. Yes. All the Earth-rank demon extermination generals responded in unison, then unfolded their figures and stepped directly into the portal. Bright lights bloomed, and eventually, more than 30 Earth-rank demon extermination generals disappeared into the whirlpool portal. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Yin was surrounded by flickering blood-red lights. The void twisted as if endless thunder echoed. When his vision became clear again, he had already appeared in a strange territory. The sky was gloomy, filled with black cracks like a spider web woven together in the void above. From beneath the ground, a stream of blood flowed, emitting incessant evil qi, as if something dangerous and terrifying was hiding underground. This was a different world. Lu Yin could feel that the heavenly and earthly spiritual qi here was incredibly thin, instead filled with a torrent of brutal and dark energy, fluctuations. Is this really a cultivation secret realm? Lu Yin thought to himself. Dark energy and blood-red evil qi filled the surroundings, swallowing up all signs of life, making Lu Yin feel extremely uncomfortable. This dark energy was very concentrated, and it was unknown what had caused it. Roar! Just then, a sudden roar broke the silence. On the blood-red ground, a demonic creature about 10 meters tall, covered in blood-red scales and with hard-boned spines on its back appeared. Its scarlet eyes fixed on Lu Yin, it roared and charged towards him. This demonic creature's aura was extremely terrifying, with its body wrapped in dense dark energy. Its strength was comparable to the late stage of the Rune Seed realm. What's even more frightening was that, with its roars came from other demonic creatures in the vast land, one after another. One after another, these terrifying demonic creatures erupted with a violent aura, akin to a storm, causing the entire land to tremble violently. Lu Yin looked at the pairs of scarlet eyes, like lanterns flickering with bloodthirsty, murderous intent. Is this the blood-slaughtering, secret realm? In Lu Yin's eyes, an unstoppable fighting spirit surged. At this moment, he vaguely understood the purpose of the blood-slaughtering secret realm, so his fighting spirit soared, and his powerful body released a splendid golden light, like a big sun rising on the blood-red land, driving the demonic creatures to even greater frenzy. Intruder! Tear and eat! Several terrifying demonic creatures roared at each other, uttering some disjointed words from their bloody jaws. Boom! With a sharp flash in his eyes, Lu Yin produced thunder under his feet, and in an instant he charged out like lightning. The first to bear the brunt was a demonic creature with a strength comparable to the late stage of the Rune Seed realm, which had its head blasted to smithereens by him, and it crashed to the ground. Kill! Ice-cold murderous intent filled Lu Yin's eyes, his blood boiling, and he unleashed an incredibly powerful destructive force, charging towards the many demonic creatures. Boom, boom, boom! With his formidable fleshly body, each of Lu Yin's punches killed numerous demonic creatures. The surrounding demonic creatures were at their strongest, equivalent to the peak of the Rune Seed realm, and were no match for Lu Yin. Crack! Lu Yin's fist was extremely fierce and domineering, instantly colliding with a peak Rune Seed realm demonic creature. A crisp sound rang out, and the thick arm of the peak Rune Seed realm demonic creature was smashed to pieces, turning into countless black blood droplets and emitting a pungent smell. With cold eyes, Lu Yin rushed up, and in the horrified gaze of the demonic creature, his fist pierced through its chest, its heart pulverized by his extremely powerful punch. The sky-brilliant sword in Lu Yin's hand radiated blazing sword light as it was unsheathed, instantly slashing through the air and beheading a gigantic demonic creature. Chapter 503 Blood Slaughter Secret Realm. Demonic Beast Essence Core, two behind Lu Yin. A headless monster with a size of several dozen feet fell to the ground, its vitality completely extinguished. Human! So strong! Clumsy words came out of the mouths of several other monstrous creatures with immense qi. They were shocked at Lu Yun's strength, but they didn't feel fear because of it. Or it could be said that there was no such word as fear in their dictionary, only madness and brutality. One sword terminates the world. With a loud roar from Lu Yin, the sky-brilliant sword in his hand hummed and vibrated, dazzling and breathtaking. In an instant, he slashed out an unparalleled radiance, carrying the power to destroy heaven and earth, instantly killing another huge monster. One sword terminates the void. Another sword split the sky, tearing through space, and another even more powerful monster was pierced through the eyebrows. One invincible strike. The radiance of the sword was brilliant, and its power was immense. It transformed into thousands of sword chi, piercing through the eyebrows of various demonic creatures, severing their heads, stirring up their hearts, and some were even cut in half, falling under the endless sword chi. Soon, this area turned even more desolate and bloody, resembling the land of Azura. The corpses of demonic creatures were everywhere, and the dark energy and blood-red evil chi continuously spread. What is that? Lu Yin had wiped out all the demonic creatures in this area and was just about to leave when his eyes suddenly flashed with brilliance. He saw that not far away, within the body of one of the monsters he killed, there was a crystal stone shining with a blood-red light, looking extremely evil. Was it a monster core? From this core, Lu Yin felt an extremely pure dark energy. In the heart of this dark energy was a rich spiritual power. If I can purify this dark energy, the extremely pure spiritual power within would be a great tonic. At this thought, Lu Yin was instantly tempted. However, there was some difficulty in purifying this dark energy. Let's try the white lotus flame. Pure white flames rose from the palm of Lu Yin's hand, and then began to envelop the blood-red core of the monster. This dark energy was indeed troublesome, even more so than evil chi, and proved stubbornly resistant even under the purification of the white lotus flame. It took more than 10 breaths to finally dispel the layer of dark energy surrounding the core. In the end, all that was left of the core was an incredibly pure spiritual power. After refining it, Lu Yin felt an increase in his spiritual power, and even his martial arts will experience a slight improvement. It seems that the most valuable thing in the blood slaughter secret realm are these cores in the brains of demonic creatures. After refining them, they can help improve the spiritual power of the rune seed realm and condense the martial arts will. So thought Lu Yin. He quickly searched for other monster cores in this area, and to his surprise, not every monster had one. Out of dozens of monsters, Lu Yin only obtained 2 cores. At the same time, he found that only the monsters at the peak of the rune seed realm had cores, and it was random. Why do only the monsters at the peak of the rune seed realm have cores? Lu Yin thought secretly. At the same time, he quickly left the place, as the previous large-scale battle had attracted many monsters, rapidly rushing towards him. He could handle dozens of monsters at once with some effort. However, if there were too many, he would face a risk to his life, as the weakest of these monsters were roughly equivalent to the late stage of the rune seed realm. Later on, Lu Yin specifically targeted monsters at the peak of the rune seed realm. Gradually, he found that the probability of these monsters being able to produce cores was only about 1 in 10. I need to make good use of these 3 days. Lu Yin's eyes flashed with brilliance, his figure quickly moving through the blood slaughter secret realm. After 4 hours, Lu Yin had killed 8 monsters and acquired another core. After purifying the dark energy on its surface and refining the spirit core, Lu Yin felt a significant increase in his spiritual power, and his martial arts followed suit, becoming stronger as well. The pity was that there was no quantitative standard for measuring martial arts will. By the end of the day, Lu Yin had refined 10 cores, and he felt something unusual happening in his sea of consciousness. It was a golden yellow light cluster, shaped like a bamboo shoot with only 1 section. After refining the 10th spirit core, the second section grew a little, almost about 1/10 of the first section. Martial arts will. Instantly, Lu Yin realized that this bamboo shoot-shaped golden yellow light cluster was his martial arts will. If I'm not mistaken, my martial arts will is at the first rank and 1/10. A Golden Core realm martial artist wants to achieve a celestial human, not only needs to create cave heavens within their body, but also transform their martial arts will into martial arts primordial spirit. Refining these spirit cores will help me quickly improve my martial arts will. I must seize this opportunity. With that in mind, Lu Yun moved swiftly. Whoosh! Lu Yun's speed was extremely fast, and he vanished in the blink of an eye from the plain where the fierce battle had taken place before. However, at the end of the plain, the sight he saw surprised him greatly. That is, Lu Yun's eyes became solemn. In front of him seemed to be a vast black ocean, with rich, dark energy and bloody killing intent constantly spreading out. Vaguely, he could see that on the black ocean, there were many terrifying figures flying in the air. Above the void, intertwined cracks emitted dark and ominous light, making it look quite eerie. This sight couldn't help but make one doubt that this was not a secret realm, but a broken world with some unknown, terrifying existence gradually beginning to awaken. Roar! Roar! One after another, angry roars rang out, like hellish demons shaking the surrounding emptiness. The entire sky and earth trembled violently. Lu Yun could clearly see that on the black ocean, some of the monsters' figures were nearly 100 feet tall, with an even more terrifying aura than an average Golden Core realm. They seemed to have found something, suddenly opening their crimson eyes, staring at the other side of the ocean. Are they targeting me, or are they targeting the Earth-rank demon extermination general who entered the blood slaughter realm? At this moment, several monsters with strength reaching the peak of the Rune Seed realm have crossed the sea and started to attack Lu Yin. Lu Yin could clearly see that these few monsters' eyes were extremely red, filled with violent killing intent, and even their aura was more potent. Kill! Lu Yun immediately made a decision. The sky brilliance sword radiated with intense sword radiance, slashing across the air, and amazingly only severed a monster's arm. This showed that not only were these few monsters more powerful, but even their bodies were horribly strong. Splash! After flickering and hacking a dozen or so swords, 5 giant monsters finally fell. The sword chi cut through, severing each of their brains. These 5 monsters contributed 2 spirit cores to Lu Yin. Previously, he had to slay an average of 10 peak Rune Seed realm monsters to obtain a single spirit core. As for the late-stage Rune Seed realm monster, no matter how many he killed, there was no gain. Now, after killing merely 5 monsters, he obtained 2 spirit cores. The rate was simply terrifying. However, Lu Yun showed no joy, but his expression grew even more solemn. What lies at the end of this sea? And why do the monsters that come from it not only have stronger abilities, but also have a higher probability of producing spirit cores? Or is there a secret hidden here? Lu Yun shook his head slightly. Even if there was a secret, it had nothing to do with him. His main task now was to hunt more monsters and obtain more spirit cores in the time ahead. After fighting for 4 more hours, more and more monsters crossed the sea, and their strength grew stronger and stronger. Even the 3 monsters with their bodies reaching 100 feet and an aura comparable to a Golden Core realm expert were nearing. As constant, intense battles continued, and the strength of monsters grew, Lu Yin eventually chose to temporarily avoid the edge and leave this area. Chapter 504. Second rank martial arts will. The wonderful use of the 7-colored stone 2 days later, the martial arts will in the sea of consciousness had grown to 80% of the first rank. During this time, Lu Yun killed more than 100 peak Rune Seed realm monsters, obtaining several dozen spirit cores. It seems I should go to that black ocean to hunt for more monsters, Lu Yun muttered to himself. Boom! The ground beneath his feet suddenly shattered, revealing numerous buried skeletons. This land was made up of countless corpses piled up together. I can't worry about that now. I need to get as many spirit cores as possible and raise my martial arts to the second rank. Lu Yun's eyes revealed a boundless fighting intent, and his body erupted with a glaring lightning. Without any attempt to conceal his aura, he unsheathed the sky-brilliant sword and charged towards the black ocean to kill. Rumble! In the dark energy roiling like a tide, a wild surge of black chi stirred, stimulating the human mind. If not for martial artists who had gathered martial arts, it would be extremely difficult for them to maintain a calm mentality in such an environment. Black waves slapped against the shore, and mysterious beings with frightening auras emerged from the black energy ocean one after another. Lu Yun's vigorous vitality and soaring blood essence acted like a lighthouse on the sea, causing the monsters to completely boil and roar. Countless monsters gathered from all directions. At least 100 of these monsters existed, and more were continuously crossing the sea. The violent, dark energy emanating from their bodies contained destructive power, seemingly capable of annihilating everything. Lu Yun's eyes were also filled with blood-red, murderous intent, and his boundless fighting spirit and surging blood essence sent the weaker monsters wailing in fear. Clank! With the sky brilliance, sword unsheathed, the sword light shone brilliantly, the sword chi raged, and Lu Yun charged into the many monsters. Boom! Lu Yun unleashed a punch, and the heavenly lion roared, suppressing everything. In an instant, 7 or 8 monsters were blasted apart. Zhang! The sky brilliance sword flew back and forth, humming and trembling. As if swallowing countless monsters' blood, it seemed to awaken its spirituality, making the sword burst into even more dazzling light. Unrestrained sword chi enveloped the area like a reversed heavenly river, sweeping everything in all directions. The weaker monsters were struck by the sword, their bodies torn apart, with limbs and heads scattered everywhere. Some didn't even have time to scream before being cut down. However, several monsters had huge bodies and were extremely powerful. The sword chi that tore through the sky left only shallow scratches on their skin. Roar! Seizing this opportunity, hundreds of fearless monsters rushed across the sea toward Lu Yun. Boom! The netherworld gate appeared, then quickly enlarged, and a powerful suppressing force emanated. Countless monsters trembled in its presence. Chi-chi! The sword light flew across the battlefield, and in an instant more than a dozen monsters were killed. Several of them were at the peak of the runed seed realm. Lu Yun's body was covered in pure white flames, the 100-year flame blazing as if it were the kryptonite to the monstrous, dark energy. The spirit cores were engulfed by the white lotus flame, refining the dark energy on the outside, leaving only the purest spiritual power. While slaying monsters, Lu Yun refined these monster cores purified by the white lotus flame. Within the sea of consciousness, the spiritual power grew more and more substantial, like a golden light cluster slowly increasing in size. At the same time as Lu Yun killed these monsters, he also refined a large number of spirit crystals to replenish the continuously consumed yuan hai in his body. Only by refining spirit crystals could one maintain the peak state in this spirit-extinguishing land. After all, continuing to fight took a terrifying toll on him. Boom! Surrounding Lu Yun, powerful monsters continuously emerged from the black energy ocean, only to be repeatedly killed by him. Black blood splattered through the air, eventually falling into the endless seas below. Lu Yun didn't know how many monsters he had killed or how many spirit crystals he had refined. He only knew that he continuously refined spirit cores, and his martial arts while in the sea of consciousness was constantly growing stronger, breaking through the second rank. As the third day approached, his martial arts had grown a third section, reaching 30% of the second rank. At that moment, the 3 monster beings over 100 feet tall and with terrifying auras finally arrived. Ha ha ha, he is mine! A palm-sized mountain roared towards Lu Yun. So powerful, this monster is not inferior to an early-stage Golden Core realm martial artist. Feeling the howling strong wind and the terrifying energy filled with violence and destruction, Lu Yun's face turned solemn. Facing three powerful monsters at once, he didn't have the slightest confidence. Moreover, countless other monsters surrounded him. But soon, Lu Yun's eyes became firm once again. If I leave now, I won't be satisfied with just the 3-day limit. I'll give it my all. Just as Lu Yun made up his mind and prepared for a desperate fight, something unexpected happened. He is mine. Don't anyone try to snatch him. Another equally huge monster slammed its fist into one of its own kind and then opened its bloody maw, lunging toward Lu Yun. He is mine. Don't anyone dare to snatch him. Another monster joined the fray, fighting the other two monsters. They had enormous bodies and tremendous power. As they fought, the black ocean's waves rose tens of feet high. At the same time, even the interwoven cracks in the sky began to distort, growing larger and larger. Chapter 505. Second rank martial arts will, the wonderful use of the 7-colored stone _2 under these circumstances. Lu Yun naturally remained calm and composed. As long as these 3 demons fought each other to the death, he would eventually emerge as the final beneficiary. However, Lu Yun might have overestimated the situation. The battle between the 3 demons quickly came to an end, with a demon possessing golden tentacles proving superior and showcasing unparalleled strength, thus suppressing the other 2 demons. Delicious! You are Bada-Lu's delicacy. The demon, who identified itself as Bada-Lu, looked at Lu Yun with burning greed in its eyes. Its enormous mouth even secreted some indescribable fluid. Immediately after, it extended its right arm, and a thick, dark energy condensed into an enormous black star. As the star circled around, the other 2 demons couldn't help frowning. Bada-Lu had not used this technique during their previous battle. As for the other demons, they had already scattered and fled during the previous intense battle. Even though Lu Yun's vital energy and blood seemed to have a great attraction for them, the fear hidden in their souls and bloodlines made them tremendously wary of these 3 demons. Bada-Lu, with his massive body, stepped onto a sea of dark energy, and the enormous black star in front of him seemed to be ready to descend at any moment. Delicious! His scarlet eyes set on Lu Yun, he greedily said, I will absorb your blood, refine your bloodline, and then thoroughly transform myself into you to leave this world. Leave this world? Lu Yun looked puzzled. It felt as if there was a secret hidden in the other's words. However, this demon showed no intention of explaining to Lu Yun. With a slight movement of its right arm, the enormous black star fell. With the descent of the black star, the cracks in the void became even more horrific, and the sea of dark energy beneath his feet surged more violently. Underneath the black star, Lu Yun felt enormous pressure, and despite his abnormal physique, he still felt the gravity comparable to a mountain. Such a terrifying power! In astonishment, Lu Yun activated his Netherworld Gate to resist the attack. Ever since obtaining the Netherworld Gate, Lu Yun had been nurturing it with his aura origin, spiritual power, and laws. Now, as he activated it, it quickly enlarged to 100 feet, blocking the black star dominantly. This black star, conjured by Bato, Lu could easily crush a regular Golden Core realm. Even when blocked, the powerful momentum it carried still made the Netherworld Gate tremble violently. Meanwhile, as Lu Yun and Bada-Lu engaged in fierce battle, other Earth-rank demon extermination generals who had entered the blood-slaughter forbidden area felt that disturbance and looked in their direction. That direction, it seems to be the dead demon lake. Bai Changfeng's robe fluttered in the wind, surrounded by golden light, and he looked into the blood-red void, murmuring softly to himself. Before entering the blood-slaughter forbidden area, he already knew about the demons and that there were Golden Core realm demons. Therefore, he had stayed away from the dead demon lake to avoid disturbing the powerful entities there. The Dead Demon Lake is the forbidden area of the blood slaughter forbidden area. I wonder who was unlucky enough to stumble in there. Shaking his head slightly, Bai Changfeng began to look for his next target. He was already on the verge of advancing to the Golden Core realm, but his progress was stalled because his spiritual power was insufficient, which prevented him from condensing his martial arts will. Only by condensing martial arts will could he transform his rune seed into a golden core. The spirit core in the brains of the demons in the blood slaughter forbidden area possessed abundant and pure spiritual power, which was crucial to whether he could enhance his spiritual power, condense his martial arts will, and create a golden core. The only drawback was that it was not easy to obtain these spirit cores. After nearly 3 days in the blood slaughter forbidden area, he had only acquired 3 spirit cores. Moreover, each one demanded a heavy price. An hour later, a silent, serene slash of saber light emerged. Boom, boom, boom. The space shattered inch by inch, like countless firecrackers exploding. Within an instant, the void surrounding Bado, Lu completely collapsed, and the thick, dark energy around his body was cut through by the saber light. The white saber light flashed and vanished, and the invincible strike arrived abruptly. Bado Lu's face changed drastically as he spat out a mouthful of blood. The black blood, containing a powerful aura, floated in the void before quickly disappearing. How can this be? How did the heaven and earth draw, saber, slash become so powerful all of a sudden? Lu Yin's pupils contracted abruptly. His gaze fell on the long saber in his hand. This saber was a superior, profound artifact, one of the spoils he had seized from the formidable figures of the Red Moon Demon sect. In terms of quality, this white saber even fell short of the azure cloud dragon scale saber he had previously destroyed. However, on the blade of this pure white saber, there were 7 colored rainbows that seemed to envelop the blade with energy. 7 color, this is the 7-color stone. Lu Yin suddenly remembered the 7-color stone he had found deep within a city in the profound darkness domain. When did the 7-color stone end up with this profound saber? Before Lu Yin had time to think, Bachalu had already launched another attack. Bachalu, heavily wounded by Lu Yun's previous strike, was filled with immense fury, a startling dark energy concentrated in his sizable palms. Buzz, buzz! Bachalu's massive body lurched forward, his speed reaching the peak in an instant, breaking through all space, amassing a terrifying force as he charged towards Lu Yin. At such an extreme speed, the shattered space around him collapsed even fiercer, vibrating and contracting incessantly. Delicious treat, punishable by death. Bachalu growled, and 2 tiny black holes separated from the centers of his palms. At the same time, Lu Yin unleashed his second swing, the divine ability of the demon, slaying, god-killing saber. Under the boost of the 7-color stone, even with Lu Yin's full force, his profound saber showed no signs of abnormality. The entire space seemed to be cut by the sword light. Its powerful might was beyond comprehension. The swing of the demon slaying, god-killing saber passed through the many black holes and pierced Bachalu's formidable body. The power seems to have become stronger. Lu Yin pondered internally before slashing once more. Splatter! With this strike, Bachalu's left arm was severed. Boom, boom, splatter! Another swing, his thick, pillar-like right leg was severed cleanly. It seems like it's not the power of the divine ability that has increased, but this profound saber in my hand has become stronger. After 3 successive slashes, yielding good results, Lu Yin finally identified the difference. If he did not comprehend more principles, the divine ability power would not significantly increase. The only explanation was that the 7-color stone had elevated the grade of the profound saber. Now understanding this, Lu Yin couldn't help but smile. Bachalu, we can help, how about it? Seeing Bachalu steadily losing ground, The two monster beasts nearby, both eyeing the situation tensely, made a proposal. "No, delicious treat is mine. None of you are allowed to snatch it, or else become my enemy." Bachelus' indifferent voice floated in a straight line through the void. "Last swing." Lu Yun's gaze was icy cold. He could already feel the power of rejection from the surrounding space. Divine ability, demon, slaying, god-killing saber. Under the effects of the seven-color stone, the level of the profound saber was upgraded to the level of a treasure, also possessing an annihilating characteristic. Boom, boom. A swing was launched, the sword radiance soaring toward the sky like a long rainbow piercing the sun, directly slashing at Bachelus' colossal body. "No, I am invincible." Bachelus' eyes widened, his massive body trembling. The intense dark energy burned, its power endless and inexhaustible. He attempted to block this swing with his newly regathered hands, frantically manipulating his energy. Splatter! The pure white sword light, carrying the power to stir space and annihilate everything, pierced through Bachelus' palms and cleaved straight down. Crack, crack! His colossal body seemed to have a streak of pure white light entering, causing cracks to appear on its surface. At this point, the rejection forces from all over became stronger, practically forcing Lu Yun out of this space. However, relying on his formidable will, Lu Yun successfully landed this final blow. Moreover, in the final instance, he reached out and extracted the large spirit core. Boom, boom! The surroundings flickered with a bloody glow, the void distorted. As the view became clear again, he had already been cast out from the bloody vortex portal. Chapter 506. Undercurrent Surges, Indestructible Golden Bones, Red Moon Demon Sect. Goddess Peak Lu Yun calmly raised his right hand, revealing a gigantic spirit core in his palm. On the outside of the spirit core, an incredibly dense, dark energy emanated, causing the surrounding space to distort slightly. This spirit core was taken from the brain of the demon that Lu Yun had killed last in the Blood Slaughter secret realm. This dark energy was extremely powerful, and the violent aura it emitted made people feel uncontrollably agitated. Lu Yun carefully studied the spirit core as the white lotus flame enveloped it. "I hope the spiritual power within this spirit core can greatly boost my martial arts will." It took almost an hour for the white lotus flame to refine the dark energy on the surface of the spirit core, leaving behind an extremely pure essence of spiritual power. As expected of a demon with strength comparable to the Golden Core realm, it has increased my martial arts will by 50% in one go. After refining the spiritual power within the spirit core, Lu Yun's spiritual power surged, and his martial arts will also increase to second rank 80%. The surge in martial arts will allow him to further enhance his control over rune seeds and laws. If he were to fight Mo Wuzong, the heavenly pride of the Red Moon Demon Sect, again, he would have confidence in suppressing him. However, after the defeat of the Red Moon Demon Sect, their elders and most core disciples had either escaped or died. It was unknown whether Mo Wuzong was still alive. Shaking his head, Lu Yun calmed himself and reached out. A dull, seven-colored stone appeared in his palm. When I first got the seven-color stone, I found it incredibly extraordinary. Not only did it possess terrifying power, but its material was also incomparably hard. It was sharper and more solid than mysterious instruments. Now it can actually attach itself to a mysterious saber and forcibly raise its rank by one, also carrying destructive power. Lu Yun examined the stone, and then infused his spiritual power into it. The seven-color stone began to slowly change its shape and form as Lu Yun's thoughts controlled it. It seemed Lu Yun thought of something and then took out the sky-brilliant sword. Next, something astonishing happened. The seven-color stone transformed into a seven-colored rainbow and attached itself to the sky-brilliant sword. The dazzling light emitted a mysterious atmosphere. Lu Yin felt that the sky brilliance sword in his hand seemed to have undergone a certain change. Incredible, it's simply amazing. The 7-color stone can not only increase the rank of a blade, but even the treasure artifact level sky brilliance sword can also be upgraded. Lu Yin secretly marveled as he looked at the 7-color stone in his hand. His eyes filled with a strange brilliance. The sky brilliance sword was different from the previous mysterious saber. It was a true treasure artifact, and even the best of the lower grade treasures could be upgraded to the mid-level rank. It meant that treasures ranked mid-level and above might also be upgraded by one rank. Thinking of this, Lu Yin took out the Netherworld Gate and similarly controlled the 7-color stone with his thoughts, attaching it to the Netherworld Gate. Sure enough, the power of the originally mid-grade treasure Netherworld Gate rose once again. Not only could the 7-color stone be used as a weapon itself, but it could also attach itself to various mysterious instruments and treasures, fuse with them, and enhance their rank and power. Such effects were simply unbelievable. At least so far, Lu Yin had never heard of such a treasure. With this 7-color stone, it means that in the future, I can upgrade any treasure by one rank. Lu Yin waved his hand, put away the Netherworld Gate and Sky Brilliant sword, and the 7-color stone gradually shrank, turning into a 7-colored light attached to his battle armor. Immediately, the originally lower-grade treasure battle armor had its rank raised by one level. Lu Yin squinted his eyes, reined in his excitement, and thought to himself, this extraordinary 7-color stone must not be known to others. 3 days later. Name: Lu Yin. Power: Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army, Cultivation Techniques, Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon. Rune Seed Chapter: Great Accomplishment 1%, Wind Thunder Manual, 3rd layer, Instant Horizon, 100%, Fifth Scripture, 2nd layer, Sky Lion Shaking the Sky 100%, Finger Scripture, 1st layer, Formless Tribulation Finger, 100%. Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, 3rd layer. One Invincible Strike, 100%. Demon Slaying God-Killing Saber, Divine Ability 1st. Layer, Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / Divine Ability 1st layer. Innate Talent, Level 10, Mortal Level Limit. Martial Arts, Late Stage Rune Seed Realm, Energy Value, 395 million. Automatically increased by 100 every day. Conception, Slaughter Conception, 8th stage 41%. Thunder Conception, 8th stage 1%. Spatial Conception, 8th stage 1%. Skills, Alchemy Technique, 7th rank 1%. Talent, White Lotus Flame, 7th rank 53%. Luck Value, 167 after refining all the pills in his body. The energy value on the panel sword passed the 10 million mark, however, as his cultivation improved to the late-stage Rune Seed realm and the Thunder Conception and Spatial Conception advanced to the 8th stage. His energy value decreased sharply once again. The improvement of my conception led to the breakthrough of my martial arts to the 3rd stage level, which is an unexpected harvest. Lu Yin's gaze fell on the Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / Divine Ability. He immediately consumed 1 million energy points, causing the heavens and earth to change colors. The Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / was upgraded to the Divine Ability 2nd level. Feeling the earth-shattering saber intent lingering in his sea of consciousness, Lu Yin felt invigorated. At the 2nd level, the Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / was much more magnificent and powerful than at the 1st level. Now, the Heaven and Earth Draw Saber / was not inferior to the demon-slaying, god-killing saber. Of course, the demon-slaying, god-killing saber was still only at the Divine Ability 1st layer. The saber intent circulated inside his sea of consciousness only for a moment before it was absorbed and merged by the blood-red lotus seat within it. Chapter 507. Undercurrent surges, indestructible golden bones. Two above it, 8 blood-red petals swayed gracefully, and the 9th petal would soon sprout. Following that, Lu Yin turned his gaze to the demon slaying God-killing saber. Upgrade. In an instant, 2 million energy points were consumed, and the demon slaying God-killing saber was also upgraded to the second level of divine ability. At the same time, an even more powerful saber intent was born in the sea of consciousness, roaring like a mad dragon. On the blood-red lotus seat, petals swayed wildly, greedily absorbing the incomparably strong saber intent like a thirsty being. After the upheaval in the sea of consciousness subsided completely, the slaughter conception on the panel rose to the 8th stage at 88%. With the improvement of the slaughter conception, even the martial arts will made another breakthrough, rising to 3rd rank at 10%. Now it's time to cultivate that great sun, undying golden body, Lu Yun murmured. He had obtained the great sun, undying golden body when he was still in the origin fluid realm, but because of his realm he had never practiced it. At present, his cultivation had reached the late stage of the rune seed realm. Even without external resources, he could practice it. With a thought, a strange stream of information immediately began to reassemble in Lu Yun's mind. Great sun, undying golden body. Surprise flashed in Lu Yun's eyes as he suddenly realized that the great sun, undying golden body was not included in the panel, which was quite strange. However, compared to that, what he was more curious about was what kind of change practicing this cultivation technique could bring to him. The first step to cultivate the great sun, undying golden body was to refine the 206 bones in the body into imperishable golden bones, and then transform into the great sun, undying golden body. This golden body was extremely terrifying, allowing Lu Yin's physical body to become indestructible, almost standing in an unbeatable position. As long as the golden body was initially transformed, even if both arms were severed, they could be regenerated. Once this was practiced to an extremely high level, even if only a drop of blood was left, it could regenerate. However, that level belonged to the realm of legends, and few people could reach it. All the bones in Lu Yun's body now showed a golden glow, but they were still far from the real imperishable golden bones. Refining the imperishable golden bones requires a high level of spiritual energy. I need to find a place with an abundant spiritual energy. Actually, the heavenly and earthly spiritual qi in Goddess Peak was very rich, but it didn't meet Lu Yun's requirement. Then he left Goddess Peak and went to the Merit Exchange Center. He spent 300,000 demon extermination points and exchanged 3 million spirit crystals. Together with his previous gains, he had nearly 4 million spirit crystals in his hand. To refine all 206 bones in his body into imperishable golden bones. These spirit crystals alone were not enough. Thus, he spent another 300,000 demon extermination points and exchanged an entry quota for the Devil Cloud domains. The Devil Cloud domains contained a dense heavenly and earthly spiritual qi, making it an excellent place for enlightenment. Upon entering the Devil Cloud domains, Lu Yin felt that the environment here was completely opposite to that of the Blood Slaughter domains. The Blood Slaughter domains were a spirit-extinguishing land with no trace of heavenly and earthly spiritual qi, full of a vast amount of broken and evil qi, and an unsettling atmosphere of dark energy filled the world. In contrast, the Devil Cloud domains had a spiritual qi so dense it was almost liquid, and it was filled with a mysterious aura which greatly facilitated martial artists entering into the realm of enlightenment. From afar, Lu Yin could sense several powerful auras in the Devil Cloud domains. These people were the other heavenly-level demon extermination generals. Unlike the Blood Slaughter domains, which were only open once and could only be stayed in for up to 3 days, the Devil Cloud domains could be entered multiple times. However, it required 10,000 demon extermination points for each day spent inside. 300,000 demon extermination points were enough for Lu Yun to stay for a month. After finding a remote place with dense spiritual qi, Lu Yin concentrated on refining the imperishable golden bones and practicing the great sun undying golden body. At the same time he entered seclusion, the entire Scarlet Moon demon domain became restless. Even the nearby sea area became restless, and undercurrents began to surge. For example, the supreme elder of the Green Cloud sect, Yun Xian Venerable, led his top 10 personal disciples in visiting Heavenly Mystery Sword sect. Meanwhile, the 9 Nether Demon sect continuously gathered the remnant forces of the Red Moon Demon sect and maintained contact with 100 sect, attempting to unite with more sects to fight against the demon suppression army. Among them, the most heart-stirring news came from Heavenly's secret pavilion. The pavilion master, Sky One Venerable, had calculated a prophecy as if he had seen a glimpse of the future. The rise of the demonic path, the 100 sects return to nothing, the imperial path flourishes, and the human race prospers. As soon as this prophecy came out, the entire nearby sea area trembled slightly. Does this mean that the demonic path is going to rise completely? Many people speculated that the Red Moon Demon sect and the 9 Nether Demon sect were both powerful forces in the demonic path. However, the Red Moon Demon sect had just been annihilated by the Mori Jin Demon Suppression Army, and apart from a few strong members of the sect who managed to escape, the sect and the vast Scarlet Moon Demon domain had fallen into the hands of the Demon Suppression Army and would soon become part of the Mori Jin territory. It won't be long before the 9 Nether Demon sect, unable to hold out for long, will also be wiped out once the Mori Jin Demon Suppression Army has recuperated. In such a situation, how could the demonic path rise? Some people believed that the next target of the Demon Suppression Army would not be the 9 Nether Demon sect, but the Heavenly Mystery Sword sect or other sects instead. The 9 Nether Demon sect would take the opportunity to expand its power, ultimately forming a huge force, dividing the entire nearby sea area with the Demon Suppression Army and establishing a new alliance against each other. After all, only in this way can the prophecy of Sky One Venerable from Heavenly's secret pavilion be fulfilled. However, some people believed that there was a problem with Sky One Venerable's prophecy, not to mention whether the Demon Suppression Army would disregard the 9 Nether Demon sect and directly attack the Heavenly Mystery Sword sect and other sections. Even if that were the case, the Demon Suppression Army, with their current strength, would not be able to defeat the Heavenly Mystery Sword sect, because both the Heavenly Mystery Sword sect and the Green Cloud sect had at least 3 venerables sitting in town. Unlike the Red Moon Demon sect and other demonic forces, the Heavenly Mystery Sword sect, the Green Cloud sect, and other sects had a very close alliance. Once the Demon Suppression Army attacked, at least half of the sects would form a new alliance to fight against the Demon Suppression Army together. In such a situation, unless Mori Jin used an even stronger force, success would be extremely difficult. At the same time as turmoil erupted in the nearby sea area, dark currents surged within the Scarlet Moon Demon domain. At present, in a mountain range in the southeast of the Scarlet Moon Demon domain, a young man in a dark gold robe sat in meditation. This person was Emo Wuzong. As Emo Wuzong was surrounded by the intertwining laws and enveloped in golden light, his aura had become much stronger than before, reaching the mid-stage of the Golden Core realm. It should be noted that even Gai Jio, the former sect leader of the Red Moon Demon sect, hadn't reached this realm at his age. With such terrifying aptitude and cultivation speed, Emo Wuzong would definitely achieve the celestial human rank if there were no accidents. However, now he had become a homeless dog, and all his resources had been used up. An intense anger and hatred filled his dark eyes. Demon Suppression Army, Mori Jin, you stand in my way, and I swear to take my revenge. Emo Wuzong clenched his fists tightly, releasing a powerful wave of energy that destroyed all the towering trees within a few miles in an instant, reducing them to dust. Time slowly passed. In the Devil Cloud domains, Lu Yun remained in seclusion, following the method of the great sun undying golden body. It took him 3 full days to refine his first bone into an imperishable golden bone using spiritual energy. The moment the first imperishable golden bone appeared, Lu Yun felt that there seemed to be profound patterns imprinted on the surface of the golden bone. Moreover, as soon as the first imperishable golden bone emerged, Lu Yun felt his physical body becoming stronger, his vital energy more powerful, and a single punch would possess immense might. Not bad, just one imperishable golden bone has such an effect. What if I have several others, or even all the 206 bones in my body become imperishable golden bones? How powerful would that be? Lu Yun became more and more excited about the great sun undying golden body. However, thinking that it took a full 3 days just to refine the first bone, Lu Yun's excitement quickly diminished. At this rate, it would take at least 2 years of nonstop refining to complete the transformation of all 206 bones in his body into undying golden bones. It seems that the concentration of spiritual energy still needs to be increased. With this thought, Lu Yun moved his intention, and countless spirit crystals appeared before him. Chapter 508. Leaving the pass, meeting the Fei Ling Martial Academy members again, just as Lu Yun was in seclusion, news came from the imperial court that a super-powerful monster had appeared deep in the endless great wilderness, causing heavy losses to the monster extermination army. In the end, 2 celestial human-level powerhouses from the monster extermination army joined forces to finally suppress the giant monster. However, more and more powerful monsters appeared later, making it impossible for the monster extermination army to continue its expansion. Compared with exterminating the 100 sects, the main task of the imperial court is to advance into the endless great wilderness and expand Meridian's territory. So, the higher-ups of the imperial court decided that the demon suppression army of Morijin would abandon further conquests, and instead completely eradicate all remaining sect forces in the occupied Scarlet Moon Demon Domain, White Lotus Domain, and Profound Darkness Domain, and then establish provinces. Lu Yun, of course, was unaware of this and continued to be immersed in his cultivation. A month later, within the Devil Cloud Domains, a powerful aura permeated the air, accompanied by the rise of a golden glow. On a spiritual peak with rich spiritual energy, a figure like an immortal enshrouded in divine light sat cross-legged. The heavenly-level demon extermination generals, who were also cultivating within the Devil Cloud Domains, found the violent flow of heavenly and earthly spiritual chi to be quite incredible. Over the past month, the peerless figure sitting on the distant mountain peak for cultivation had seemed to take up almost all of the heavenly and earthly spiritual chi in the area for tens of thousands of miles. The entire Devil Cloud Domains were no more than 100,000 miles in diameter. Lu Yun alone occupied 1/10 of it. One could only describe this as extremely terrifying and shocking. Those who were also cultivating in the secret domain, Linghu Dao and Duge Yuan, were both surprised and delighted. Lu Yin, this guy, always stands out wherever he goes. While Lu Yin was a very low-key person and tended to be low-key in everything he did, every matter he handled was always stunning, stirring, and widely influential. Right now, it was unusual for a rune seed realm cultivation base like Lu Yun to emerge in the Devil Cloud Domains, which were mostly filled with Golden Core realm cultivators. For nearly a month now, various anomalies had frequently occurred. The eye-catching golden light constantly enveloped the domains, and the roars of the heavenly and earthly spiritual chis tides never ceased, affecting other practitioners in the Devil Cloud Domains. Soon, after a brilliant burst of golden light and the surge of a powerful spiritual aura, Lu Yun finally came out from the spiritual peak. His white clothes were like snow, his temperament transcendent, and his facial features were handsomely outstanding. Even many demon extermination generals secretly envied him. Moreover, unlike before, Lu Yun's temperament seemed to have undergone some refinement. In the past, Lu Yun had an otherworldly temperament but gave off a delicate impression. However, Now it conveyed a sense of steadiness and concentration. A keen-eyed person would notice that Lu Yun had taken on a hint of indestructible and mysterious significance. How come I feel like I'm the one in the rune seed realm and Lu Yun is in the golden core realm? Dugu Yuan muttered. He didn't know that this was because Lu Yun had practiced the Great Sun Undying Golden Body technique. Looking at Lu Yun in this peculiar state, Nangong Rue was the only one among the many heavenly-level demon extermination generals whose eyes sparkled. Did Lu Yun really comprehend a saint body technique from the divine martial enlightenment pillars? As one of the Martial Academy's saint children, he naturally knew that the first-generation primordial emperor had left 365 divine martial enlightenment pillars before departing. Each of the divine martial enlightenment pillars contained countless martial arts techniques. Among them, the rarest and most precious were the saint body techniques. It was rumored that each of the divine martial enlightenment pillars' saint body techniques was different. Anyone who could comprehend a saint body technique would have the chance to break through the celestial human bottleneck and possibly enter that mysterious domain. Unfortunately, among the 365 divine martial enlightenment pillars, few could comprehend a saint body technique due to the large number of practitioners. To his knowledge, only 2 of Meridian's many saint children had comprehended a saint body technique. As for whether there were any more, he was not very clear. After all, each saint child was extremely mysterious and seldom revealed all their cards and abilities. The 2 he knew of who constantly practiced their saint body techniques within the Martial Academy's secret domain were preparing themselves to go there. The mysterious aura emanating from Lu Yun was strikingly similar to that which he had previously noticed in the other 2, leading him to conclude that Lu Yun must have comprehended a saint body technique and had already embarked on the path of cultivation. Nangong Rue may have seen through it, but he did not tell anyone about it. This kind of thing was a secret regarding Lu Yun's personal life, and revealing it to others without permission might well incur his displeasure. Since he would need Lu Yun's help in the future, he naturally did not want to offend him. Lu Yun has become even stronger. I'm afraid I am no longer his match. Dugu Yuan thought to himself. The Lu Yun who had cultivated in the Devil Cloud domains for a month had not only improved his temperament, but the subtle aura of power he displayed also evoked a strong sense of danger in others. As a heavenly-level demon extermination general in the Far Suppression Legion, his cultivation had already reached the extreme of the early Golden Core realm, and it wouldn't be long before he further progressed. Nevertheless, even at this stage, the sight of the current Lu Yun sent chills down his spine. After a month of seclusion, I managed to refine only 20 imperishable golden bones. Lu Yun shook his head and sighed inwardly. He did not expect that, having consumed nearly 500,000 spirit crystals and being in such an outstanding cultivation site within the Devil Cloud domains, he would only have refined 20 imperishable golden bones. The consumption was truly terrifying, and the efficiency was simply too low. I now have a level 10 innate talent, and more than 200 of my bones have already been refined to their limit. Even with these conditions, while cultivating the Great Sun Undying Golden Body technique, I used up so many resources and time to refine less than 1/10 of the total number of imperishable golden bones. Chapter 509. Leaving the pass, meeting the Fei Ling Martial Academy members again, _2, if others were to cultivate the Great Sun Undying Golden Body, it would be a question whether they could even achieve the entry level. Lu Yun thought to himself, if one were to observe his arms at this moment, they would discover that there was an indomitable aura on his arms, faintly shrouded in golden light. The 20 imperishable golden bones refined by Lu Yun were all concentrated in his arms. In this way, he could exert the partial effect of the imperishable golden bones as early as possible. Junior brother Lu, congratulations on coming out of seclusion. Nangong Rue walked up, smiling at Lu Yun. This person is terrifying. His strength is definitely not inferior to Wei Tianlan's. Upon seeing this person for the first time, Lu Yin felt an inexplicable sense of crisis. However, who is this young man? It seemed that he hasn't met him before. How could he know himself? Seeing Lu Yin's puzzled face, Nangong Rue introduced himself. Junior brother Lu, am Nangong Rue, also a disciple of the Martial Academy, but am from the Martial Academy in Qing Province. Nangong Rue? All information about this man surfaced in Lu Yun's mind. Nangong Rue had a very high reputation in the Demon Suppression Army because he was one of the Martial Academy's Saint Children. In the entire Demon Suppression Army, including Lu Yun, there were only 4 Martial Academy's Saint Children. Moreover, each Saint Child possessed terrifying strength, advancing through the levels as effortlessly as drinking water. Upon learning that the other party was Nangong Rue, Lu Yin also realized that he had underestimated the other's strength before. The main general of Far Suppression Legion, Wei Tianluan, most likely could not be Nangong Rui's match. So it's senior brother Nangong. Lu Yun revealed a smile and slightly bowed towards the other party. Although the two were from different martial academies, both were Martial Academy disciples, so it wasn't inappropriate for them to call each other senior brother. The two left the Devil Cloud domains together, and then Nangong Rue tentatively asked, Junior brother Lu, if I'm not mistaken, you should have comprehended the holy body technique from the divine martial enlightenment pillar and have already started cultivating it. As he said this, his gaze towards Lu Yun became somewhat inexplicable. The holy body technique was the biggest secret of the divine martial enlightenment pillar and the reason for the first generation primordial emperor to descend here. Nangong Rue didn't know much about the specific details. However, he knew that everyone who comprehended and successfully cultivated the holy body technique would have a future full of potential. Upon hearing this, Lu Yin couldn't help but ask, Senior brother Nangong, have you also cultivated one of the holy body techniques? No, the holy body technique requires sufficient talent and opportunities. Even though I have been fortunate enough to become one of the Martial Academy's Saint Children, I lack such a destiny. Nangong Rue revealed a look of regret. He quickly recovered and continued. Actually, some Saint Children have also comprehended the holy body technique, but they cannot cultivate it. For example, senior brother Gongsun Zhonghong, he had also comprehended a holy body technique, but after cultivating for decades, he still hasn't been able to achieve the entry level. Junior brother Lu, not only did you comprehend the holy body technique from the divine martial enlightenment painting, but you've also grasped the threshold of cultivation. Just on this point alone, you're already surpassed many saint children and heavenly prides. Does senior brother Nangong know what kind of holy body technique Gongsun Zhonghong comprehended? Nangong Rue shook his head with a bitter smile. Even though I have a good relationship with senior brother Gongsun Zhonghong, I don't know much about this secret. Lu Yu nodded in understanding. He knew in his heart that the secret of the holy body technique was something that the fewer people knew about, the better. Junior brother Lu, if possible, try to cultivate the holy body technique as soon as possible. In the near future, you'll have an unexpected surprise. Upon hearing the other party's words, Lu Yin felt as if the other person seemed to know a secret he was unaware of. Nangong Rue wanted to share more with Lu Yin, but at this moment his token suddenly shook. Seeing the message that appeared on it, his brow furrowed slightly. Junior brother Lu, I have something to attend to. Let's talk next time. After he finished speaking, Nangong Rue didn't wait for Lu Yin to reply and turned into a rainbow light, disappearing into the sky. Looking at the afterimage left at the original location, Lu Yin revealed a bitter smile. Soon, he left the Red Moon Demon sect and arrived at Skypool City, the temporary residence of Far Suppression Legion. Linghu Dao and Dugu Yuan were both cultivating in the Devil Cloud domains, so the only golden core expert present was true Master Changkong. As for Wei Tianluan, he was elusive and nobody knew where he was. Lu Yin, the recent battles in the nearby seas have come to an end. What are your plans for the future? Master Changkong looked at Lu Yin, stroked his chin beard and smiled kindly. After further honing my skills, I plan to go for training in the depths of the endless great wilderness. Regarding his future plans, Lu Yin had no intention of hiding anything. Master Changkong nodded slightly, greatly approving of Lu Yin's character, which was constantly honing itself despite already possessing terrifying talent and combat power. Lu Yin, I think before you enter the endless great wilderness, you might want to take a trip to the Origin Martial Academy. There, you can gain a chance for a great opportunity. Oh, an opportunity? Master Changkong explained. The Origin Martial Academy is the main academy that governs over all martial academies in the various provinces of Morijin. Every martial academy disciple has a record there. Furthermore, talents like you, who have become saint children, can enter the Origin Martial secret domain for cultivation. Upon hearing that there was such a good opportunity, Lu Yin was immediately tempted. All right, I'll make sure to visit the Origin Martial Academy when the time comes. Afterward, Lu Yin arrived at the 18th Army campsite. Upon hearing that Lu Yin had returned from seclusion at the Red Moon Demon Sect, Yi Xian, Qin Ho, Feng Hui, Meng Fan, and many other demon extermination generals had been waiting for him in advance. Chapter 510, Leaving the Pass, meeting the Flying Spirit Martial Academy members again, understood. Hey, General Lu has finally returned. Generally speaking, Lu Yin rarely secludes himself for such a long time. This time, his strength must have undergone earth-shattering changes after he comes out. In their anticipation, it didn't take long for Lu Yin to finally arrive. His gaze fell on several people, and he could clearly see their cultivation realm and background at a glance. Yi Xian, his aura solidifies incomparably, already stabilized at the early stage of the rune seed realm. Qin Ho, with more solid accumulation, can trigger thunder tribulation at any time and officially advance to the rune seed realm. As for Feng Hui and Meng Fan, they also successfully condensed rune seeds, but judging from the aura emanating from the two, they should have just reached the mid-level rune seed realm. Compared to ordinary people, this result is not bad. However, without any opportunities, they have little hope of reaching the golden core realm. Of course, it's not only them who made progress. Other black-rank demon extermination generals have also advanced to the peak level of the golden body realm, beginning to inscribe laws. Lu Yin scanned around, and finally, his gaze fell on Yi Xian. The war in the nearby waters is basically over, and there won't be any wars in a short period of time. I may leave the Demon Suppression Army soon. So the 18th Army will be handed over to Yi Xian in the future, and I will report this to General Wei. If nothing unexpected happens, he will agree. General this, Qin Ho, and others were stunned, and Yi Xian also appeared surprised. Lu Yun waved his hand slightly. During the time I was in charge of the 18th Army, I didn't provide you with many benefits. Then he took out more than 10 mysterious instruments, with the lowest level being mid-level. Among them, Yi Xian received a superior profound artifact, while Qin Ho, Feng Hui, and Meng Fan each received one top-grade mysterious weapon. General, this is too valuable, Yi Xian said with a feeling of being overwhelmed by the unexpected favor. A superior profound artifact, if exchanged with demon extermination points, would be an enormous amount. Now, Lu Yin casually gave it to himself, and it was impossible to say that he was not excited. Qin Ho and others also had excited expressions on their faces, but they seemed a bit uncomfortable for a while. You've all followed me in battles and can be considered my people. Just accept them, no need to be polite. Lu Yin said indifferently with a smile. Yes, thank you, General. Yi Xian and others hesitated for a moment, but eventually nodded and put away their mysterious instruments. There was a touch of gratitude in their expressions. These mysterious instruments were undoubtedly a significant boost to their combat power. After waving Yi Xian and others away, Lu Yun summoned the people of Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Congratulations to the Saint Child for coming out. Seeing Lu Yun, Lei Kang laughed joyfully. We greet the Saint Child. Gu Yuan, Bailey Yi, and other Flying Spirit Martial Academy disciples bowed with clasped hands towards Lu Yun. Seeing the lineup of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Lu Yun's eyes darkened when he noticed a few missing figures. When they first set out from Ling Province, there were 10 elite disciples and 3 Golden Body Realm Elders in the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Now, there was only 1 elder left, Lei Kang. Out of the 10 elite disciples, there were only 4 left. Bailey Yi Guyuan by Hao Xuan and Qiu Guyun. Together with Lu Yun, there were only 5 people left, and the loss was quite heavy. Fortunately, after experiencing life and death battles, Bailey Yi and others achieved significant improvements. Qiu Guyun had completely stabilized at the early stage of the Golden Body Realm, while Bailey Yi and the other 3 had reached the peak of the Origin Fluid Realm. Moreover, Guyuan had accumulated profound foundations, and the aura he exuded was not much weaker than Qiu Guyun's. With this in mind, the dimness in Lu Yun's eyes vanished completely. You 3 have all reached the category for condensing gold bodies. You should need attribute, spiritual objects more, and I just happen to have some that I've harvested. It's of no use to me, so I'll give them to you. He then took out 12 top-notch attribute spiritual objects and gave them to Bailey Yi, Guyuan, and Bai Haoshuan. Bailey Yi and others looked at the attribute spiritual objects in front of them, full of rich energy, and their eyes lit up. Each attribute spiritual object was of top-notch quality, extremely rare, and unbelievably precious. So, for a moment they were at a loss. Lu Yun spoke with a slightly reproachful tone. You are all the future pillars of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. These attribute spiritual objects are not given to you for free. I only hope that when you grow up in the future, you can strengthen the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Yes, thank you, Saint Child. Bailey Yi, Guyuan, and Bai Haoshuan nodded with determination. With this move from Lu Yun, their admiration and respect for him grew even more. Lu Yun did not show favoritism, and he also gave a good spiritual object to Qiu Guyun. Seeing this, Lei Kang, who was standing beside them, had a look of relief on his face. This is my Flying Spirit Martial Academy's Saint Child who, even after growing to the realm of a true master in the Golden Core realm, always has the Flying Spirit Martial Academy on his mind. Chapter 511. Mo Wuzong appears, for Direction City is in danger then. He went straight to find Wei Tianluan. At present, the Mori Jin Imperial Court temporarily suspended its attack on 100 Sect, focusing all its efforts on conquering the boundless great wilderness. Therefore, the Demon Suppression Army would not have much action in the future. At most, it would only deter and appease the 12 domains such as the Scarlet Moon Demon Domain, Profound Darkness Domain, and so on. This meant that there would not be much to gain for Lu Yun if he continued to stay in the Demon Suppression Army. So he went to find Wei Tianluan to resign from his post as leader of the 18th Army in the Far Suppression Legion. When Wei Tianluan learned the purpose of Lu Yun's visit, he felt some regret. But knowing that he could not change Lu Yun's decision, he gladly agreed. Lu Yun, since you said you still want to hone your skills in the nearby sea area for some time, it's like this. I erase a mission for you. Wei Tianluan said, A mission? Lu Yun's eyes flashed with curiosity. The Imperial Court decided to establish prefectures in the 12 domains, such as the Scarlet Moon Demon Domain, White Lotus Domain, Profound Darkness Domain, and so on. However, many remaining forces of various sects still needed to be purged. In the 4-Direction City to the southeast of Skypool City, there are small groups of remnants from the Red Moon Demon Sect. You will accompany by Changfeng and the others to clear them out while helping the Imperial court-appointed county governor to establish the Four-Direction prefecture there. Wei Tianluan said with a smile, after the Red Moon Demon sect was wiped out, the vast Scarlet Moon Demon domain was leaderless and in chaos, requiring the Demon Suppression Army to be stationed there. At the same time, martial artists who practiced demonic cultivation techniques also became more active, necessitating the many demon extermination generals to eliminate them. Once the demonic troubles were resolved, prefectures would be set up, and these territories would be incorporated under Meridian's rule. Right now, Lu Yin was the strongest Earth-rank demon extermination general, having even killed those in the Golden Core realm. With such power, he was sure to eliminate the demonic chaos in the Four-Direction city. Now, my strength has improved at least twice as much as before. It's time to go out and hone my skills, Lu Yin thought, accepting gladly. Lu Yin, prioritize your own safety in the face of danger, Wei Tianluan reminded at last. I understand, Lu Yin nodded. Then, Lu Yin took his leave from Wei Tianluan. In the sky, 5 figures stood firm in midair. They were by Changfeng, Zhang Wenyin, Zhuang Ziyuan, Wei Zongqing, and Hong Xingwu. Behind each of them, 100-man team, fully armed and ready to go. Bai Changfeng's 100-man team wore green armor and carried long knives in their hands. Zhang Wenyin's 100-man team donned red armor and wielded long spears. Zhuang Ziyuan's 100-man team dressed in white armor and held long swords. Hong Xingwu's 100-man team were clad in black armor and brandished large axes. Wei Zongcheng's 100-man team sported blood-colored armor and carried blood spears. The 500-man teams were all imposing, filled with fighting spirit and exuded a powerful aura. Lu Yin was immediately impressed by this luxurious lineup at a glance. Wow! Even the weakest in these 500-man teams had reached the Golden Body realm. With such terrifying strength, it was not just about establishing a prefecture, but they could even destroy one. Bai Changfeng and the others showed a smile when they saw Lu Yin. Lu Yin flew up into the sky, clasping his hands towards Bai Changfeng and the others with a smile. Sorry for making you wait. Let's set off now. With that, he turned into a beam of light and disappeared in the sky. Let's go. The 5 of them laughed, and each led their 100-man teams on a grand march through the sky above Sky Pool City. Various family forces and martial artists along the way looked on with trembling and astonishment, looking up into the sky. Is that the Demon Suppression Army's powerhouses? Where are they going? I don't know, it's been a long time since the Demon Suppression Army mobilized on such a large scale. Are they trying to suppress a rebellion? Not quite. This time they didn't use warships, just powerful individuals who are capable of flying. Hiss, are all these people Golden Body Realm or above? The various martial artists saw the quickly moving figures in the sky, gasping in shock, and felt their scalp tingling. What had happened to cause the Demon Suppression Army to send out hundreds of Golden Body Realm martial artists? Many martial artists exchanged glances, understanding the meaning in each other's eyes. It was estimated that it might be another unlucky family or sect. Nowadays, the most powerful sects within a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles have been wiped out. Even the peak of the pyramid, the Red Moon Demon sect, no longer exists. Which force could withstand the Demon Suppression Army? For Direction City, Gu Shenjiang looked helplessly at the scrolls of documents on his desk. He had taken office in Four-Direction City for almost a month, but apart from making a brief census of the population and registering them under the jurisdiction of Four-Direction City, there had been no other achievements. Other works and policies could not be implemented solely because the remnants of the sects that fled into the territory greatly hindered the enforcement of the city Lord's Mansion's edicts. Sigh, at this rate, I don't know when Four-Direction City will be built into Four-Direction Prefecture, he thought, feeling his scalp tingle. Taking over as county governor of Four-Direction Prefecture, his family had paid a huge price. If he couldn't show any achievements and lost his position, the family's losses would be immense. "Young master, something terrible has happened." At that moment, a middle-aged scholar rushed into the study in a panic. The middle-aged scholar was Gu Shenzhang's old servant, usually referred to as Uncle Lu. Gu Shenzhang usually left many specific tasks to Uncle Lu to handle. "Uncle Lu, what has happened?" Gu Shenzhang supported his forehead and asked calmly. Chapter 512. Mo Wuzong appears for Direction City is in danger under Sir. Tu Gu Shenzhang was assigned by the family as a county governor, not just because of his strong martial arts prowess, but also due to his calm temperament and methodical approach to tasks. He was revered as the Qilin son of the Gu family, so even when he saw the middle-aged scholar's panicked look, he maintained his composure. "Master," General Lin Feng and the 5,000 soldiers of Qilin army under him were attacked in the Float Cloud mountain range. Their entire army was wiped out. The entire army was wiped out. Even for someone as calm as Gu Shenzhang, he couldn't help but furrow his brows after hearing this. Lin Feng, like him, was from Wu Province, one of the big figures for the future of Four Direction Prefecture. Of the 5,000 Qilin army led by him, 1/10 were the Lin family's personal guards, while the rest were conscripted from local martial artists. However, even the weakest soldier in the Qilin army had reached the Meridian Passage realm in terms of cultivation. Combined with Lin Feng, who was a peak master of the Golden Body realm, they posed a threat that ordinary forces could not handle. Wanting them eradicated was an outcome beyond his expectations. Gu Shenzhang slightly shook his head, then handed one of the documents on his desk to Uncle Lu, saying, "Uncle Lu, this is the plan for the merging and establishment of Four Direction Prefecture cities and counties. Distribute it to the mansions of the 12 city lords, insisting they must implement this plan and complete the transformation within a month." Receiving the document, Uncle Lu was hesitant. "Master, what about the incident in the Float Cloud mountain range?" "This incident is beyond the capabilities of Four Direction City. I will report the truth. It won't be long before the Demon Suppression Army arrives." Gu Shenzhang spoke lightly. "To deal with the remnants of these sects, we must rely on the power of the Demon Suppression Army. I heard one of the Demon Suppression Army's legions is garrisoned in Sky Pool City. It's quite close to our Four Direction City," Uncle Lu tentatively said. Gu Shenzhang nodded slightly. "A few days ago, I sent people to ask for help. If everything goes as expected, the Demon Suppression Army should arrive within 3 days. Uncle Lu, you need to compile all the demons around Four Direction City so I can explain the situation to the commander of the Demon Suppression Army." "Yes, Master." After finishing his words, Uncle Lu slowly exited the study. Gu Shenzhang, appearing more worried than before, bore an expression of concern. The situation in Four Direction City was far more serious than Uncle Lu knew. There were many families harboring ill intentions, with remnants of the sects coveting their territory. Without the elder from the Origin Martial Academy in the city, he alone wouldn't be able to maintain the city's stability. Rubbing his eyebrows, Gu Shenzhang let out a deep breath, then gazed at the sky outside through the window of his study. "I just hope that the incident in the Float Cloud Mountain doesn't involve the remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect." As the future county governor of Four Direction Prefecture, he had access to many insider pieces of information. On past battlefields, 7 or 8 Golden Core Realm Masters and dozens of Rune Seed Realm Masters of the Red Moon Demon sect had escaped. These strong masters, even if they didn't all gather together, could cause significant damage if 4 or 5 of them assembled, especially the few Golden Core Realm Masters. They were absolutely terrifying entities. Any one of them could easily annihilate the achievements he made in Four Direction City. Bang! 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 The earth suddenly trembled. In the distance, a formidable crowd appeared, filling the horizon. Looking at the overwhelmingly massive, dark crowd of strong men, all the martial artists in Four Direction City were visibly horrified. The young talents and warriors from various county families of Morijin were all despondent. Four Direction City is done for, and the investments my Huang family made here will be completely wasted. An elderly man said, a look of despair in his eyes. Uncle Liu, who had just left the city lord's mansion, was filled with despair upon seeing the sudden arrival of the powerful figures in Four Direction City. How could so many strong men appear all at once? He himself had an impressive martial arts cultivation, but he could not discern the details of at least 20 people in the crowd. This meant that there were at least 20 Rune Seed realm masters among them, whereas in Four Direction City, even if counting Gu Shenzhong, the elder from Origin Martial Academy, and the future prefecture captain and deputy, there were only 4 Rune Seed realm masters. In terms of high-end combat power alone, Four Direction City was completely overshadowed. Not to mention, their opponents had so many Golden Body Realm and Origin Fluid Realm warriors. Facing such a large scale of sect martial artists, the city defense forces of Four Direction City were completely insignificant. Boom, boom, boom. On the distant horizon, an army of tens of thousands of martial artists was advancing with overpowering momentum. At the same time, more than 20 warriors of the Rune Seed Realm and hundreds of the Gold Body Realm appeared out of thin air. Those are the sect master and supreme elder of the Red Sun sect. In Four Direction City, a middle-aged man clad in black armor spoke. He was one of the commanders of the Qilin army, a strong warrior of the Gold Body Realm. However, facing such a huge number of powerful warriors, a Gold Body Realm warrior alone wasn't much of a help. What are the Red Sun sect, Green Jade sect, and Puzzle Hall trying to do? The family powerhouses within Four Direction City felt a foreboding feeling. Above Four Direction City, a Rune Seed Realm powerhouse spoke. Listen well, people of Four Direction City. I am the sect master of the Green Jade sect. My purpose here is to drive out the people of the Marine dynasty. Anyone who surrenders to our sects can avoid unnecessary slaughter. Aren't the Red Sun sect and the Green Jade sect afraid of being annihilated by the Demon Suppression Army? Uncle Liu couldn't help but ask. That was his biggest doubt. These sects should be terrified at this moment, yet they dared to attack Four Direction City. The sect master of Green Jade sect snorted coldly. Don't pretend that we don't know the attitude of Marine towards 100 sects. None of the sects survived the Demon Suppression Army's rampage. Rather than waiting for the army to come to us, we might as well strike first. With those words, he dived down from the sky. At the same time, scores of martial artists who came with him all set off towards Four Direction City. All generals, heed my command. Protect Four Direction City. Kill! Prefecture Captain Li Gang roared. The 25,000 Qilin army charged out like a flood, engaging in a deadly battle with the invasion force. Limbs flew, blood splattered. The intersection of cries, screams, and intense battle noises created a bloody and tragic scene. The 25,000 Qilin army simply couldn't hold off these powerful warriors. The commanders of the Qilin army, under the siege of numerous Golden Body Realm warriors, were continuously beaten back, some even perishing. In terms of numbers and strength, Four Direction City's battle power was unable to hold off the combined forces of Green Jade sect, Red Sun sect, and other sections. Humph! Do they really think there's no one left in Four Direction City? At this moment, a cold voice echoed through the void. A burst of tremendous pressure spread out. All the Qilin army and the city defenders in Four Direction City felt a quaking in their bodies, experienced a sense of suffocation. In the sky, a figure in a white robe appeared. It was Master Changshan from the Origin Martial Academy. Golden Core Realm Powerhouse. When Master Changshan appeared, the sect masters of Green Jade and Red Sun sects, along with the other Rune Seed Realm powerhouses, were taken aback. For Direction City, unexpectedly, had a Golden Core Real Master guarding it. A Golden Core Realm Real Master. This elder from Origin Martial Academy turns out to be a Golden Core realm powerhouse. The commanders of the Chilean army made joyfully tearful cries. Uncle Lu also displayed great joy, like a man finding a lifeline in a desperate situation. Before this, he was unaware of Master Changshan's true strength, only knowing that he planned to establish a martial academy in Four Direction Prefecture. Knowing Master Changshan's capacity now, he was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. However, before Uncle Lu and the commanders of the Chilean army could even rejoice, another 2 Golden Core realm auras exploded in the sky. One of the individuals was a young man in a dark gold robe, Mo Wuzong, the heavenly pride of Red Moon Demon Sect. Even Master Changshan's face changed at this moment. Even though he was a Golden Core realm powerhouse, he had just advanced recently, and he was powerless against 2 warriors of the same rank who were not weaker than him. Moreover, he felt an extremely strong oppressive force emanating from the young man in the dark golden robe. The glimmer of hope that had just arisen in the hearts of Uncle Lu and the others was extinguished with the appearance of these 2 Golden Core realm powerhouses. Gu Shenzheng's eyes also reflected a flashing sense of despair. Master Changshan had always been his trump card. Even though he knew that dozens of Rune Seed realm warriors were besieging Four Direction City, he didn't despair, because a Golden Core realm real master could turn the tide. However, the enemy also had Golden Core realm powerhouses, and there were 2 of them at that. Could it be that even the heavens are against me, Gu Shenzhong? Gu Shenzhong clenched his fists, looking desolately at the endless sky. Chapter 513. Lu Yun arrives, killing Mo Wuzong in the void. 2 figures approached with steps through the air, both emitting an aura of the Golden Core realm. They were Red Moon Demon Sect's Heavenly Pride disciple Mo Wuzong and Elder Fan Xinghe. Standing in midair, their auras firmly locked onto Master Changshan, blocking his escape routes. Looking at the sudden appearance of the 2 men, Master Changshan's face changed dramatically. Having just broken through to the Golden Core realm, he was in high spirits when he applied to establish a martial academy from the Origin Martial Academy. However, he did not expect to encounter the siege from Green Jade Sect and other sects as soon as he arrived in Four Direction City. What surprised him even more was the existence of 2 powerful experts at the Golden Core realm behind these sections. So there's another big fish. Well, killing you will just about relieve me of my hatred. Mo Wuzong sneered. I advise you to return from whence you came. The Demon Suppression Army will arrive soon. Otherwise, you will be completely destroyed when the time comes. Master Changshan forced himself to calm down and spoke indifferently. Demon Suppression Army? Mo Wuzong frowned. Then a deep hatred flashed in his eyes. Even if the Demon Suppression Army can come, what kind of powerful people can they have? All right, one won't waste words with you. After I've killed you all, I'll slowly settle the score with the Demon Suppression Army. As Mo Wuzong ordered, the martial artists attacked once more, like a torrent breaking through everything, crushing towards the Chilean army. Fan Xinghe and Mo Wuzong teamed up to suppress Master Changshan. It wasn't long before Master Changshan was forced to retreat continuously, blood oozing from the corners of his mouth. After all, he had just broken through to the Golden Core realm not long ago, and his realm hadn't fully stabilized. Now he was facing 2 Golden Core realm powerhouses who were stronger than him. The Mo Wuzong in the dark golden robe was even more terrifying in strength. Every move he made would provoke powerful laws. In no time, Master Changshan was sent flying in the void, spitting blood from his mouth, his figure extremely embarrassed. Gu Shenzhong was also suppressed by the Green Jade Sect Master and the leader of Red Sun Sect, having no power to fight back. The Chilean army on the ground was also in complete disarray. 20 Rune Seed realm experts, hundreds of gold body realm powerhouses, and a large number of martial artists were simply no match for the Chilean army of Four Direction City. The low and middle tier forces were utterly crushed. The top powerhouse, Master Changshan, was also severely injured. Loyal old servant Uncle Liu was killed by a rune seed realm expert. My ambitions, are they to end like this? Gu Shunzhang's heart was filled with unwillingness and despair. His ambition to establish a great region and lead his family to rise again was about to be shattered, his face filled with disappointment and despair. I've just left the Origin Martial Academy, and my life is in danger. Master Changshan's face was filled with sadness, no longer holding any hope. This is just the beginning. Mo Wuzong's indifferent expression, as he was about to strike down with one palm. At that moment, it seemed as if there was a tremor in the heavens and the earth. Immediately after, a cold voice abruptly sounded. The remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect. How dare you show yourselves? Are you tired of living? A faint whisper, like coming from an ice cellar, sent chills down everyone's spine. As the faint whisper fell, the entire battlefield was plunged into a deathly silence, as if frozen. Mo Wuzong and Fan Xinghe frowned in the sky above Four Direction City. Who could it be? Even from a long distance, the voice had an effect on their willpower. The newcomer is powerful. Kill quickly and then leave. Mo Wuzong gave an order, and then his mid-stage golden core power completely exploded. Divine ability, mix origin, annihilation palm. Thousands of palms formed by the interweaving of laws fell from the sky, like a dense rain, causing Master Changshan to vomit blood uncontrollably. His figure fell straight from the sky, crashing heavily to the ground. Heavenly sanguine slaughter. The blood spirit, ghostly spear appeared in Mo Wuzong's hand, displaying a dazzling crimson spear light. He then thrust it horizontally across the sky. The terrifying spear light fell from the void, bombarding the dying Master Changshan. I'm finished. Seeing the terrifying spear descending, Master Changshan was utterly hopeless. At that moment, a figure enveloped in a hazy golden light suddenly descended. He seemed to have appeared out of thin air, suddenly reaching out a hand, and then the powerful force erupted like a volcanic explosion, promptly grabbing the long crimson spear. Then a cold and domineering voice emerged from his mouth. The remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect will be slain without mercy. One merciless sentence set the heavens and earth trembling with a killing intent that had never been seen before, filled with bone-piercing coldness and abyssal depths. It's you. Looking at the figure that suddenly descended and saved Master Changshan, Mo Wuzong's pupils shrank slightly, his expression stunned and shocked. The figure was all too familiar to him. He had killed numerous rune seed realm experts from the Red Moon Demon sect in the battlefield, even slaying the Netherworld sect master. Even with his own power, he had only been able to suppress the figure, not kill him. Very well, you actually took the initiative to appear. Today, this saint child will kill you and make up for the regrets of the past. Mo Wuzong's voice was cold, filled with murderous intent. Now he fully understood that the person behind the voice was Lu Yin, and the thought of retreating from his heart completely disappeared. A month ago, Lu Yin was not his opponent, and he was chased all over the battlefield. Now he had broken through the realm again, advanced to the mid-stage of the Golden Core realm. His strength had increased several times, and to kill Lu Yin was merely a matter of raising his hand. Crack! He reached out his hand, enveloped by a dark purple light. The blood spirit, ghostly spear returned to his hand, and then the spear lights swelled 100-fold. Chapter 514. Lu Yin arrives, kills Mo Wuzong to a towering and imposing spear light, like a heavenly pillar, radiated a chilling and stem aura. Boom! Splatter! A massive force burst forth, tearing through the sky and ruthily charging towards Lu Yin. The void exploded, countless laws of power lost control, wildly piercing everywhere, the raging torrent spreading around. The entire void seemed to be occupied by this spear light, with everything else losing its radiance. Under the endless bloody light, Lu Yin laughed, his smile filled with an indescribable calm and ease. Let's test the power of the imperishable golden bones. Immediately, 20 pieces of imperishable golden bones erupted, and his body was instantly boosted with supreme power. This force was majestic and boundless. There were simply no words to describe it. Lu Yin clenched his fists. The sky lion shaking the sky was used, and a colossal golden heavenly lion roared out. The golden heavenly lion collided with the bloody spear light. Like planets clashing, ripples of void quickly spread out. During this collision, the spear light containing terrifying force was directly shattered by the golden heavenly lion, which then rushed towards Mo Wuzong with relentless momentum. Splatter! Mo Wuzong's figure was like a kite with its string cut, blasted away. The scene fell into momentary silence. How is it possible? Your strength! Mo Wuzong spurted blood from his mouth, speaking incoherently. He was already shocked when Lu Yin was able to handle his spear attack earlier. But now, the power of Lu Yin's fist had exceeded his expectation. This terrifying strength could not have possibly erupted from Lu Yin's frail body, worthy of being the imperishable golden bones. Just by refining 20 pieces, my strength has been elevated to such a level. Lu Yin was also somewhat astonished. He had personally experienced Mo Wuzong's strength the last time, and even if he used divine ability, he could barely fight against him. Now, the latter had further advanced, elevating to the middle stage of the Golden Core realm, becoming more powerful. Even so, after activating the imperishable golden bones, he had blasted him into a daze with one punch. From a distance, Mo Wuzong wiped the fresh blood from the comber of his mouth, his face extremely gloomy. He said coldly, "Elder Fan, the progress of this child's strength is too fast. Let's join forces and kill him." After the previous exchange, even if he was arrogant, he knew that he was no longer a match for Lu Yin, so he decisively sought help from Fan Xinghe. Fan Xinghe took a deep breath, and then said solemnly, "Saint Child, why don't we retreat first? Since Lu Yin has appeared here, other strong players from the Demon Suppression Army might not be far away. I have said remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect will be eliminated without mercy. There's no escape for you." With those words, Lu Yin drew out a superior profound saber. The 7-color stone turned into a streak of flowing light, augmenting it, instantly elevating it to the level of lower-grade treasure. At the same time, the imperishable golden bones on his arms were activated, with a terrifying power strengthening it. Clang! Heaven and earth draw, saber slash. Infinite and vast saber intent erupted in an instant, transforming into an invisible 1,000-jong long killing edge, slashing across the sky. The terrifying blade edge cut through even the space, everywhere it passed, leaving a long and pitch-black crack in space. "Elder Fan, be careful." Mo Wuzong's face changed, and he immediately shouted. He had personally experienced the terror of Lu Yin's slash. Its speed was almost at its utmost, and ordinary people simply couldn't evade it. Now, with a stronger Lu Yin using this technique again, even he couldn't see any trace of movement at all. Damn! Fan Xing's pupils contracted, filled with unprecedented fear and shock. The shocking killing sword sent chills down his spine, filling him with coldness. Scarlet Shield. With a low growl, Fan Xinghe unleashed all of his Golden Core realm strength. A shield radiating bloody aura was offered, blocking above him. It was densely covered with runes, and with the intertwining laws, it resembled an unbreakable bloody dome in the sky. However, the result was splatter. The invisible 1,000-jong long blade edge passed. The scarlet shield was sliced, and a head full of shock and horror in his eyes was decapitated. The esteemed Golden Core realm powerhouse was killed in one blow with no resistance at all. Light golden blood splattered, the Golden Core filled with laws and strong spiritual power shattered, turning into a shower of golden rain. Everyone was stunned, even forgetting to fight for this precious golden rain, letting it return to the heaven and earth. Watching the scene, Emo Wuzong's pupils shrank, his body shuddering violently, his face full of disbelief. Lu Yun's power was so strong. Why had the same divine ability suddenly become so much more potent? Initially, Emo Wuzong thought that even if Lu Yun's strength improved considerably, it wouldn't significantly outpace his own. As long as he and Fan Xing had joined forces, they would certainly be able to crush Lu Yun. Additionally, with so many experts at the Rune Seed realm on their side, killing Lu Yun did not seem to be just a pipe dream. However, the strength demonstrated by Lu Yun had completely shattered his confidence. Has his divine ability advanced to the second level or even higher? Emo Wuzong suddenly uttered this thought. The Demon Suppression Army's Far Suppression Legion is here. All remnants of the Red Moon Demon Sect will be slain without mercy. The squad of 100 men led by Bai Changfeng, Hong Xingwu, and Zhuang Ziyuan roared in unison, descending from the void above. With a thunderous sound, the sky above Four Direction City shook violently. Although it was a team of just over 500 men, they made the tens of thousands of martial artists from various sects who are currently engaged in intense combat turn pale and feel chills run down their spines. It's the Demon Suppression Army. My God, it's the Demon Suppression Army. We are saved, for Direction City is saved. Seeing hundreds of Demon Suppression Army units mysteriously appearing in the sky, a commander in the fiercely battling Qilin army was exhilarated, as if he had just seen a beacon of hope. He sensed that each and every aura emanating from those Demon Suppression Army units was incredibly powerful. The weakest one wasn't much weaker than himself. The Demon Suppression Army's reinforcement has arrived as expected. Both the sect master of the Green Jade sect and that of the Red Sun sect exclaimed with stunned expressions on their faces. The reputation of the Demon Suppression Army had impressed itself deeply in the hearts of the martial artists of the 100 sects. Not to mention, all of these 500 demon suppression soldiers possessed strength equivalent to or beyond the Golden Body realm, and the few leading them were even more unfathomable in strength. The leaders of the squads dressed in green, red, and white armor. The demon suppression soldiers were all at the peak of the Rune Seed realm. The Demon Suppression Army has finally arrived. Gu Shanzhong, whose energy was in chaos in the sky, heaved a quiet sigh of relief. His expression returned to calm and composed. He understood that with such a powerful force of the Demon Suppression Army, combined with the abnormal battle power of Lu Yun, the crisis of Four Direction City was no longer existent. On the contrary, all the previous obstacles that had troubled the establishment of the Four Direction Prefecture would be completely eliminated. Lu Yun casually glanced at the Qilin army down below, which had been reduced to fewer than 1,000 men. He gently waved his hand, and the 500 members of the Demon Suppression Army immediately transformed into 5 streams that resembled piercing torrents, which charged towards the allied martial artists led by Emo Wuzong. The resistance put up by this mere squad of 500 soldiers from the Demon Suppression Army, when immersed in an army of tens of thousands of martial artists from the allied sects, was somewhat unbelievable. Following just 2 charges, there were only less than 10,000 martial artists surviving. It was simply terrifying, making one shudder with fear. As expected of the Demon Suppression Army, their strength is far more than what the Qilin army can equal. Gu Shanzhong murmured softly to himself, later making up his mind that once the Four Direction Prefecture was established and everything was in order, he must strengthen the overall strength of the Qilin army. Demons, they are demons. Run quickly. The remaining 10,000 martial artists from the various sects panicked and got utterly disorganized. The sect masters from the Green Jade sect, Red Sun sect, among others, also turned tail and fled immediately. Suddenly, a river of golden light condensed out of empty space, sharply blocking these powerful men from the different sections. Then, Bai Changfeng, Zhang Wenyin, Hong Xingwu, and Wei Zongqing attacked simultaneously. Not long after, around a dozen bodies fell from the sky. Moreover, 7 or 8 streaks of rainbow lights had completely disappeared in the sky above Four Direction City. Seeing this scene, Mo Wuzong knew the tide had turned against them. Taking a deep breath, Mo Wuzong said bitterly, "Lu Yin, I will be back." As the words fell, he transformed into a streak of rainbow light, shooting towards the sky. He was not foolish enough not to realize that if he stayed, there was only one road left for him, one that led to death. So he chose to flee at once. "Wanna leave?" Lu Yun's expression was indifferent, and then with a thought, a blood-red light suddenly appeared out of the void. It enlarged rapidly, forming a giant portal. Along with the emergence of the portal, Mo Wuzong's figure halted slightly. Simultaneously, a terrifying saber light that seemed to bisect the void erupted, holding the potential to slash apart the universe. Facing Mo Wuzong, who was in the mid-stage of the Golden Core realm, Lu Yun showed no mercy. Second-level divine ability, the demon-slaying, god-killing saber. With a soft squelch, one slash swept through and directly bisected Mo Wuzong's body, with his golden core tom apart by that terrifying force of destruction. Watching Mo Wuzong, who was nearly invincible, being slain by a single slash from Lu Yin, Master Changshan felt a chill run down his spine. Has Lu Yin, the saint child of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, become this powerful? Chapter 515. The Four-Sided Martial Arts Academy closes down. Mishap in the Death Swamp at this time, the battle in Four Direction City had come to an end. Out of the tens of thousands of Qilin army soldiers, less than 10,000 remained. However, there was not a trace of sadness in their eyes. Instead, there was joy of surviving this calamity and shock from witnessing the arrival of a godlike being. For these Qilin army soldiers, the Golden Body Realm and the Rune Seed Realm were almost insurmountable existences. There was not much difference between the Golden Core Realm and the legendary gods. Now, the revered god has fallen, and the golden rain that descended healed their injuries and even broke through their long-held bottlenecks. I never expected that one day I would be able to break through to the true Qi realm, sighed a burly Qilin soldier. Lu Yin, who had killed Fan Xinghe and Mo Wuzong, 2 Golden Core realm powerhouses, in a domineering manner, now appeared indifferent. Killing 2 Golden Core realm experts was really not a big deal for him, not to mention that he had already begun cultivating the great sun, undying golden body, and tempered 20 imperishable golden bones. After upgrading both Heaven and Earth Draw, Saber Slash, and Demon, slaying God-killing, Saber to the 2nd level, his strength had undoubtedly undergone a qualitative change compared to when he first broke through to the Rune Seed realm. With a sigh, Lu Yin noticed a Sumi ring flashing in the blood stain left on Mo Wuzong's body. He grabbed it, and the Sumi ring turned into a beam of light falling into his palm. Mo Wuzong's spiritual imprint remained on the Sumi ring, and Lu Yin casually urged his martial arts will. After raising his martial arts will to the 3rd rank, it was easy for him to erase the spiritual imprint on it. Most of the items inside were random and messy, making Lu Yin frown slightly. His main target was pills, and it would be nice if there were other good items. Unfortunately, after searching for quite a while, he only found 2 8th-grade pills and tens of thousands of spirit crystals. In his view, Mo Wuzong was the saint child of the top power in the region, the Red Moon Demon sect. He should at least not be poor. The saint child of the Red Moon Demon sect only has these things. It's truly disappointing. Lu Yin shook his head slightly, his face filled with inexpressible disappointment. If Mo Wuzong were still alive, he would surely curse angrily. Not to mention that he had consumed a lot of treasures to break through to the middle stage of the Golden Core realm. Just the blood spirit, ghostly spear alone was a treasure artifact. An 8th-grade pill was also an extremely precious existence. Just then, Master Changshan approached, bowing slightly to Lu Yin. Fortunately, Saint Child Lu Yin arrived in time, otherwise I might have fallen into the hands of the remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect. It was a simple matter, don't mention it. Lu Yin put away his spoils of war and waved his hand. Immediately afterward, his gaze swept over the crowd and asked indifferently, "Which of you is the prefect of the Four-Direction Prefecture?" Because they had seen Lu Yin's domineering killing of the 2 Golden Core Realm cultivators. Everyone both admired and feared him, not daring to meet his gaze. Gu Shenjiang stepped forward, took a deep breath, and said calmly, "I am Gu Shenjiang, appointed by the imperial court as the prefect of the Four-Direction Prefecture. However, due to internal and external threats, my title as prefect is somewhat undeserved." His gaze fixed on Gu Shenjiang, Lu Yun spoke indifferently. "Don't worry, we have come to eliminate the hidden dangers within the Four-Direction Prefecture. Just go ahead and do your job. Report all the specifics about the hidden dangers within the Four-Direction Prefecture to me." "All right, but since you all have traveled a long way and the Demon Suppression Army has arrived, please rest in the city for a while. Once I have all the information organized, I will report it to you in person." "Very well." Lu Yun nodded slightly and then entered Four-Direction City with Gu Shenjiang and the others. Four-Direction City covered a wide area and had a large population, making it qualified to become a county capital. However, due to the chaotic situation and the recent attack by Mo Wuzong and sect martial artists such as the Green Jade sect, all doors in the city were closed and few people could be seen on the streets. Lu Yun wasn't concerned about all this. Everything would change once the Four-Direction Prefecture was fully established. After arranging excellent accommodations for Lu Yin by Changfeng and the others, Gu Shenjiang immediately ordered his subordinates to gather information on the remaining power of the Red Moon Demon sect and the sects within the Four-Direction Prefecture. Since his right-hand man, Uncle Lu, had fallen into the hands of the sect martial artists, his hatred towards the sects deepened, and he wished to capture all the sect forces within the area at once. Now that such a powerful demon suppression army was in place, clearing all the sect forces within the Four-Direction Prefecture had naturally become his main task. Gu Shenjiang's work efficiency was high, and he soon presented all the details to Lu Yin. According to the Imperial Court's division, the Four-Direction Prefecture currently included Four-Direction City and a total of 12 cities, with a considerable distance between them, as well as more than 10 sects of various sizes, including the Green Jade sect and the Red Sun sect. Aside from the Green Jade sect, Red Sun sect, as well as a few other sects, the remaining sects had been completely disbanded. In addition, there were many remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect wandering within the Four-Direction Prefecture. The existence of sect forces and the remnants of the Red Moon Demon sect had stalled the implementation of policies in the Four-Direction Prefecture. Moreover, the residents and martial artists in the city did not know whether they belonged to the jurisdiction of the county government or the sections. Under these circumstances, it was impossible to establish the Four-Direction Prefecture. Gu Shenjiang's intelligence report was very detailed, describing the situation of the sects and the remaining forces of the Red Moon Demon sect within the Four-Direction Prefecture and its surroundings. He also submitted the information to Lu Yun in the form of a document before leaving.